Friend, begin.
So wait, if this is a D&D game, how does this actually work?
So it's like an RPG game, but it uses D&D mechanics, kind
Why
of.
is it?
But it's
Why is
specifically,
D&D
it's
changing?
D&D, it's second edition D&D, so it's not mechanics we're really familiar with.
Oh boy, this
But
be
like
interesting.
so we're playing Baldur's Gate 2. Baldur's Gate 3, which just came out recently, uses 5e mechanics, which is the ones we normally use. So I'm like really curious about it, but it's also a $60 game, so so not that curious. But so we're going to experience
Curious within reason.
we're going to experience 2e mechanics here.
So that's still too loud.
I think it's acceptable.
I mean, I can make it a little lower.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit.
I just have to come in and out of the screen to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
I need to mute this
I
site.
see. Yeah, I think that's fine. That's good.
There we go. Yeah, so are y'all wondering, like, why I'm not at my usual desk setup?
I was wondering, yes.
Because there's a bunch of guitars on all on the floor.
A bunch of what? What
Guitars.
Oh, guitar.
You know, like...
Yes. Right.
So...
You know, like
This-
do-do-do-do-do-do. Got it.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
like...
Yeah, okay. A bunch of
yeah.
guitars on the floor. Hi, Mark.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, so, like, it's just very crowded in that room. So I'm like, I'll just, like, stream from my bed. It's
That's
fine.
nice. I mean, you know, you're tired, so...
I am.
What was that?
That was hammering.
Oh, okay.
There's
Well,
also
we're
work
not
being
banging
done.
down your front door.
There's also work being done in there, so
I see.
work being done, laundry, and all that. But it's nice. I get to sit on my bed and then try to not fall asleep.
Mark, no,
Be ready
D&D
to
is
start
not
playing in
dead.
like 10 minutes.
Sienna is, well, Sienna is actually at a wake right now, so that's why we're not playing.
Yeah. So is this how we're getting our D&D fix from?
Yes, this is how we're getting our D&D
Also-
fix.
I'm
exactly.
trying to write something like that in our Instagram post caption, and I'm sure.
From also like not being able to play yesterday too.
Yeah.
Which I'm totally okay with because like I think I sent those messages on Messenger
Mm-hmm.
and I just like passed the fuck out.
I mean, fair. We haven't played D&D in like 3 weeks though. Sad life.
I'm slowly.
I mean,
losing my
technically,
mind.
I played D&D last week, I guess, but you guys haven't played D&D in 3 weeks. And the D&D I played was barely anything, but Mark was there.
I missed my himbo and my nature dragon.
So,
I will be ready to play in like 5 minutes. So if you want to talk,
Okay.
I know y'all
Should I
have
tell
things
the
to share.
Yeah, Shan, so what's your tooth?
Yeah, so I was eating dinner last night and I've been like pretty fatigued lately for reasons that I don't feel like getting into. But I was like eating dinner and I like guess I like didn't realize that I had food on my fork and I had the food on my fork in my mouth and I bit down on the fork. And after I did that, I noticed this little rough patch on my tooth, and I went to the bathroom in the mirror to like check it out, and there's just like the tiniest little chip in my tooth where it's like, it's not noticeable unless you're like dead ass like right in my face, but I can feel it if I like run my fingernail over it. I can like feel it with my tongue.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, because I've chipped a tooth before. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I chipped a tooth on a fork.
It's impressive, honestly.
I mean, is it surprising though?
Not in the slightest, but...
It's impressive, but it's not surprising. Yeah, but yeah. So I am gonna go to the dentist because, like, it doesn't hurt or anything. But I'm like, do I need to get like a cap? Do I need to get it filed? Because it's mostly just bothering.
Yeah,
But I also
probably
need to clean it.
they'll probably offer to file it or something. When I chipped my tooth, it was in like the 8th grade, and I never did anything about it. Oh, hello, welcome.
Hello, new person. We're talking about how I chipped my tooth on a fork. Because I'm smart. I'm smart dumb person. Or wait, am I a dumb smart person?
A dumb smart person.
Dumb smart person, that's what I am.
Yeah. No, I chipped my tooth on someone's elbow, so, that's...
Oof.
Wow.
Yeah. I was in a fight on a bus. Which makes me
You were
sound
in a fight?
which makes me sound really cool, but it was very lame. It was just I forget the context of this. Yeah, that's me. I'm a real scrapper.
Brawler.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what
me.
fighters call themselves.
But
Scrappers.
yeah, we were fighting over like a bus seat on the back. Like I was an 8th grader, right? Which means I deserve the back of the bus, right? More so than the 7th graders do, right? Anyway, one of the 7th graders was trying to take my seat, and I didn't want him to take my seat. So
in place.
no, actually, I'm pretty sure he elbowed me. It was I don't remember exactly what happened. I just know that I got elbowed in the face in the process of this. But I was the one in the wrong. Whatever happened, I just know that I chipped my tooth because of it. So I got what I deserved.
Did your tooth leave a mark in their elbow?
I hope so. They were not the nicest person to me, so,
It's like a permit.
Yeah.
That reminds me of when I was in 8th grade, because I used to get into fights with my brother all the time, because he was in 6th grade and I was in 8th grade, and we would fight, like, on the bus.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why people
bus
didn't bully
fights,
me in
man.
middle school.
I mean, the bus was rough, okay? There's a reason I refused to ride the bus the entire time I was in high school.
I never got into a bus fight.
I rode the short bus in high school. I rode the short bus because I went to a high school that was outside of my district, because I was in the Animal and Botanical Sciences Academy. FFA.
Of course you were.
Like, also.
Oh, right, because you're a farmer. Got it, yeah.
Future Farmers of America. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have my blue corduroy jacket. I'm going to be Napoleon Dynamite one Halloween.
I support this.
Be
Because
great.
you know that I'm obsessed with John Heater, right? Are you aware of this? I don't know if you're aware of this, but I love John Heater.
You were talking about him.
Yeah.
When we were
I
talking
probably
about
have met, when
the
you...
gay Pinocchio
right, because John Heater's in it. I thought he quit acting. I think he did, and then he came back, and I didn't realize... Well, that's not John Heater, though. I forget, but...
I brought the whole world to see the ossification of Pinocchio.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Crocky, a lot of kids like to throw things off the bus. I remember that. Like, that was just a thing to do, is throw other kids' stuff out the windows on the bus. Bus was just a lawless zone, okay? The only law was that the 8th graders deserved the back seats.
The back is where it's at.
Exactly.
Yeah, middle school was a time. Middle school is a godless, forsaken land.
Y'all were...
Well, I didn't go to middle school, so... I mean, not technically.
Oh, was it like one of the combos where it's
I went to a school that was preschool through 8th grade, so...
Preschool?
Yeah,
Grade.
I didn't go to preschool there. I went to a different preschool because my mom went and... When we moved to that town, my mom went and talked to the preschool teacher and thought she was really mean, and she was correct. I learned from everybody in kindergarten that they hated the preschool teacher. And so my mom put me in a different preschool. But I went there for 9 years.
You're allowed to be a preschool teacher if you're mean.
Yeah, she was mean. She was scary.
Ugh. You don't want a scary teacher around these, like, little tykes. Little ankle biters.
Who says that? Who says tykes?
Well, isn't Little Tykes like the name, like a brand?
Mike and Tykes.
What?
Mike and Tykes.
No.
Mike Tykeson.
No. This is as bad as me trying to come up with Kate's Instagram name last night when I was...
No.
Rebecca was, like, barely awake, but wide awake at the same time.
One of these jokes was from, a Bim Bam. So that's where I'm coming up.
That makes sense.
It was Mike Tykeson.
Sienna is currently at a wake. That is why she is not here. So, she will be here next week, theoretically, I assume. But, which is why
I'm almost ready to start playing this game.
we are pausing the game right now because, we haven't started, but it's pausing the beginning of the game. I don't know. Because Kait is actually the one going to play, not me. Look, my hands are free. So that means I get to just talk at you guys, and I'm sure you're all excited about that, and, yeah. So... No, we have not. Nope.
Yeah, this will be exciting.
Kait watched someone play Baldur's Gate 3, and that's why Kait bought it, right? Yes?
Yep.
Yes.
How much was
Because Baldur's
2?
3 is $60. I don't know. It was on sale the other day.
Yeah. We know nothing about 2E, so,
Yeah, this will be interesting. I know, marginally, some details of 3.5e.
Yeah.
I know some.
I generally have an idea how 3.5 works, but, I know nothing about 2E. Or 1,
Okay.
I guess, for that matter. Or 3. I assume there's a 3 at some point.
Probably came out
Right.
with a 3. And then 4 doesn't exist. We don't talk about 4.
I mean,
4.
4... Yeah. It's 3.5 and 5 are, the only ones anyone talks about these days, so...
Yeah.
I don't know what these 3 things mean. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
Those are 3 different, stories, I believe. 3 different campaigns, I mean.
Oh.
So
Anyone
just
have a
start with the
preference?
first one, I guess. Unless,
Okay.
Crackety, you got an opinion? Seems like you know things.
You know things.
Start
By the way,
with
I can't
left.
see the chat
left.
at all. Okay. That's shadows, Rebecca. In
Yes.
case you're wondering.
I think that
Sure.
one sounds cool.
Oh. What did...
Yeah, I haven't played
The Lord of
Pathfinder,
Murder
but I
shall
know-
perish, but in his death he shall spawn a score of mortal progeny. Chaos shall be sown in their footsteps. Andrew, proud of you. Glad you made it.
That's intense.
You spent your youth in the library fortress of Kendall.
I did spend my youth in the library. It's true.
Her father,
Same.
Orion. Imoen shared this home.
I wish I could get back to that.
Her background was as mysterious as your own. Gorion's murder brought answers to your questions when his killer Saravok was revealed to be your brother. You
No.
Spoilers for Baldur's Gate 1. I guess.
make flesh and force.
This is some interesting typesetting they got. It doesn't fit all the way on the screen, so they just put
Nope.
a little bit on the next line, but on the right side. What? Who wrote that?
It's a creepy baby.
Yeah. Chucky.
Murder, and you
Oh!
are one of his children.
What?
Saravok sought a war of sacrifice.
Andrew, I do remember that.
Believing he
Oh yeah, I need to
or murder
minimize this a little bit so I can actually see the chat.
back to fall. You were the hero of Baldur's Gate, but some suspected you shared the same lineage as Saravok.
I'm basically a librarian with the amount of books I have now.
Darker than anyone would have believed. They came.
I
to
also
rescue
have my, the mug that Shannon gave me that Kait made. So together, this mug was from both of you in a way.
Mm-hmm.
That is D&D themed.
I mean, the original print was
Hold
in a
on, nope.
abomination
There we go.
when it came.
I got it. There we go.
So good.
And it's,
The original print was an abomination when it
Yeah.
came. Because it was misprinted so badly.
It was double printed.
Yeah. And I was like, this is shit. And I'm messaging Kate, I'm like, Kate, I need help. Oh, this is creepy.
Oh dear.
Lord.
Crackety, I am drinking vanilla rooibos, which is one of my favorites. It's a red tea.
There's
There's
a
a
multiplayer version.
I don't think we can do that.
I definitely can't. I need a new laptop before I do it.
Oh god.
Yay! Thanks,
Welcome,
Cracks.
Cracks. Oh, okay. Time to build a character. Let's not
Oh, God,
take
we know how long
78
this is gonna take.
hours.
Females of the realm can excel in whatever profession they choose. Yeah,
Oh,
okay,
good.
thank you.
How
Done?
progressive.
We're back.
Just like real
Are we
life,
back?
they can excel in any profession that they choose.
Can you only... Oh, okay. Oh, these are your faces. Okay. Oh, that's... Oh,
I don't like
my.
any of these.
These
oh,
are...
that one's pretty good.
okay.
She cute.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Most of these faces are just like
Some of them
not
are-
I like her.
That
Okay,
looks
she-
like Glimmer.
It does
It
look
does
like
look
Glimmer.
like Glimmer.
Okay,
Oh.
as we go on... Okay, these have to involve...
blue person's
like,
pretty
these
cool.
are races, too. We haven't even picked a race yet. Can you be any Can I just be an orc, but I look like a human? How does that work?
Let's be Xena Warrior Princess.
Oh, she's cool.
Is she like a
There it
dark
is.
elf? No. I guess not.
Ooh, pirate with a
the
cat.
cat.
With a cat. Do you get the cat? Is the
Okay,
cat part
we've
of it?
looped. We have looped. Custom? No. Who?
Wait, go back to the blonde one.
Yeah, she looks so tired. She looks
She-
more tired than Shannon right now, and that's impressive.
She either like I don't know. She gives me like either like Carol Baskin vibes or like or the stepmother from Cinderella story.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, she
That's-
does kind of look like the stepmother from Cinderella
hard,
story. I like
Alright.
the girl with the half-shaved head, or her, or the
I
cool
like Glimmer.
yeah, Glimmer
Glimmer.
is good.
I like the blue person. She's pretty cool.
Yeah, the blue person is cool.
She's
She's
fun.
cool. I think that would
I
probably
like
be
her
my
with the
choice.
blue
actually,
hair.
blue hair.
The blue haired girl
That
is
one?
hot.
This one?
No. The it was way back.
Oh. I like her too.
I would probably have gone with the one with the big sword.
I like the pirate because we get a cat.
Who has blue hair here?
That one back.
Her?
She had blue
No.
skin. Oh, never mind. But
I mean,
she's
I
pretty.
do like the blue skin person.
I pick her, not her.
Her?
Her.
Her.
She seems like a badass.
Alright.
I wasn't telling you to pick her. I was saying that's who I would pick. You can pick whoever you want. It's your character.
Alright, you know what? How do I...
That one. Wait, go back. The
Oh my
blue haired person. It's kind of like the dark blue. No.
Her?
That's
Yeah.
definitely not blue. No part of that is blue.
Shannon.
It's like
That's
reddish.
Purple.
But she is cute.
On my screen, it's like bluish.
Okay, that's fair. Your screen is probably special.
Yeah, it is
Okay.
special.
Okay. Human.
Are you just making Cade?
Elves. No, I was just saying that character image I picked is not Kate.
No, that's true. That's a good point.
I was
You
just
could make
reading.
Aragorn. It's like
I could make Aragorn. Oh god. I'm not even gonna read these.
Just-
I'm just gonna
I
go
mean-
with vibes.
yeah, you know what the races generally are, even though it's probably very different, but you know, generally.
I like
Class.
What-
Okay.
wait, what did you pick?
Elf.
Okay.
Health.
Mage.
The fuck is the difference between a mage and a sorcerer? May not
Mage
work
is
any
a
armor.
wizard versus sorcerer, basically. I
Okay.
believe.
Thief. Rogue.
Is this multi-classing?
I guess so.
Ooh. They cannot cast spells while wearing armor.
Interesting.
You know what? I'm usually a magic user, but maybe we should keep it a little more simple.
I mean, it's what I would do.
Fighter, berserker, wizard, slayer.
Ooh.
Kensei, barbarian.
What's a kensei?
I think that's related to like
a monk.
Oh.
Magic resistance. Berserker. May use rage ability once per day. May not wear armor heavier than splint mail.
Splint?
Yeah,
Alright.
Splint is still a thing, I think, that you can wear.
Berserker, Kensei, or Barbarian?
If we're going what matches the looks, I think Hensei.
That's fair.
But-
She does not look like a barbarian, but you know, looks can be deceiving.
Yeah.
Berserker seems fun. I don't know.
What's the difference between the Barbarian and Berserker?
Yeah, that's a good point. I really don't know.
I don't...
Mark is saying Berserker.
Alright. I trust him.
I think he's just saying that, though. Not from
Yeah,
any
The
experience.
enraged state lasts for 1 turn.
Oh, it basically... Wait,
That's
what's the
it?
difference between that and Barbarian, then?
The enraged status lasts for 5 rounds and provides a +4 bonus to
+4
strength,
bonus. Ooh.
a -2 penalty to AC, and a +2 to saving throws versus spells.
So they're both... they're both barbarians.
Becomes winded after berserking. No. Barbarian it is. Alright. Alignment, dear God.
Oh shoot, I gotta plug my laptop in before it dies.
Oh, no.
Ability. Oh, Jesus. These are the bases.
Okay, well, we know all of these things, at least. Well, it looks like they're just rolled for you, so...
I see.
I
Do
guess.
we want to keep it or re-roll?
Oh,
Oh, we
I
can
mean-
reroll.
I guess so.
I mean, none of the stats are bad. Like,
True.
Yeah,
they're all, like, at least decent.
Yeah, I mean, they're all above 10. That's honestly pretty good. I mean, none of them are, like, amazing in any way, though, but...
What if we dropped two... I mean, it's not 5e rules. I don't know how
Yeah.
this works.
Yeah.
What if we dropped 2 to raise our strength up a full?
Yeah, we probably want a good strength.
Mm-hmm.
And also, yeah, if odd numbers work the way they do in 5e, then it doesn't matter. But I don't know.
Alright.
In 5e, Berserker, is that a subclass of Barbarian?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Crackety is saying Berserker is better, but...
What about for stupid people?
Yeah, I think it's fine. It's fine. Just don't go back. Don't go back on it.
Alright, I have 6 proficiency slots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you probably need a weapon of some kind. So,
Okay, wait.
you want to be single
Proficiency slot table. Proficient, 1 slot. The character can use a weapon with no penalties. Specialized, 2 slots. The character receives +1 to hit, +2 to damage. Master, High Master, Grand Master.
Oh, interesting.
So there's benefits to concentrating your...
I see. Oh, that's
Proficiencies.
cool. Okay. Does that say bastard sword? Is that the first thing up there?
Yeah.
What is... Okay. Gives you no information. Okay.
Nope.
Well,
Ooh, katana.
a berserker with... Or a barbarian with a katana. Interesting.
A halberd,
Yeah, like,
flail.
what are you feeling weapon-wise? 'Cause
A
you
mace.
know I'm always feeling axe. Two-handed, large axe. But that's just me. I don't even see that as an option. I see axe, but I don't know if that's a one-handed axe or a two-handed axe.
What does a halberd look like again?
Those are the really long, with an axe on the top.
It's kind of like a half axe.
Yeah. But it's really tall.
I kind of like a
Guaranteed to make child
warhammer.
bastard.
So here's the question. Do we want to specialize? Do we want to master? Like, what do we think?
Yeah, probably wanna...
At least master? Oh,
Yeah.
I can only do 2.
Okay.
Oh.
So, can't be
Alright,
masters
so
from the beginning,
specialize.
that makes sense. So you're going Warhammer. Okay.
And I'm gonna do a longbow for range.
Okay, sure.
And then I feel like we should do something with like a cutting edge, like some kind of sword or something.
What about, should I two-handed weapon? Should I short sword and shield? I can't say words.
Oh yeah, the new Pokemon games. Except they're not new. Apparently they're 3 years old now, and I'm like, what? When did that happen?
Oh man, yeah, that's true. Wait, no. What, huh? They're 2 years old. Are they really 3 years old at this point?
Yeah.
I think they're 2 years old. Andrew's gonna correct me immediately, I'm sure, but...
Andrew, how old are Sword and Shield?
How do we feel about one on two-handed sword, 2 for Warhammer, 1 for longbow, 2 for two-handed weapon?
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
All right. Appearance. I already have an appearance.
I think this is your, like, little character.
Oh, God.
Your little character?
Yeah, Andrew, 2 years... The pandemic started started a few...
Almost exactly 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, by pandemic for the U.S., when we admitted there was a pandemic, started, like, March 15th-ish, so it hasn't been 2 years yet. I know for a fact that the person I was dating at the time had just bought Sword and Shield right before the pandemic started, and thus, because he had no impulse control, the game must have come out fairly recently. That is my logic for it coming out at that time.
I guess it depends if you're looking at it solely based on year, or if you're looking at it like month and year. Because if you're looking at like year, then 2019 is 3 years ago. But if you're looking like
I'm looking at it time of years, like 2 years and a few months maybe, but not but I wouldn't, not enough to round up is what I'm getting at.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna Google the actual date. Sword, and I bet it came out in like November. They always come out in November.
They always come out in November.
Release date. November 15th, 2019. So yeah. It's only
Chat,
a year
what
and
should
a few
we name
months.
her? Not that I can see the suggestions.
Crackling. Critlin.
Critlin!
Fine. I give in.
Yes. Perfect.
Yes, we broke Kait.
Kait did not choose Critlin as their
Hillary Critlin.
But anyway, did not choose that name as their Instagram name, and you know, that's fine. I'm not bitter.
That's fine. All right.
Very high-pitched voice there, Rebecca.
It's okay.
Story mode, easy or normal?
How confident do you feel in these controls?
Not confident.
Normal is 25% less damage. How is that normal? Wouldn't normal be normal amount of damage?
Hard is enemies inflict 50% more damage.
Where's normal damage?
Insane. Look at insane.
Thanks for the follow.
More damage.
We gotta follow, guys.
Core
Okay,
rules.
thanks.
Core rules is people well versed in D&D mechanics, but
based on how we do in Nancy Drew.
in
Go
5e.
easy. Core rules is the standard.
Here's
Crackety
the thing.
says so.
I am not good at video games.
Yeah.
I am good at D&D though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am good at D&D combat.
Uh-huh.
But I have not.
Maybe just
I've
go
only
normal.
played 5e. All right, normal.
We're not really veteran players, so I don't know if core is what we want to do. Let's go normal, because you know we're not fully junior detectives, but we're not senior detectives yet either. You know.
I don't know.
What's between junior and senior?
Us.
Nothing. There us. Yeah, we exist in between. And yes, yeah, Joe, I believe it's a real-time game, but you can pause it. So you want to pause often when you're when things start happening. Pause it, or else things will just keep happening.
Really?
Yes. I don't know what's happening right now, though.
Am I supposed to be
Oh
doing
no, there's
something?
a person.
Spacebar pauses. Pause during combat to issue orders, or you will probably die.
Awesome. Great.
Oh, you're in a cage.
I'm being electrocuted.
Oh, that's
Oh.
unfortunate.
I was being electrocuted.
Oh shit.
Oh no. This zoom out is something. Like,
Huh?
just how zoomed out it is.
It is very zoomed out, which is confusing.
Yeah. It's like, which one are you? I guess you're the one in the cage, but...
Huh, wake up, come on.
We have to get out of here.
Keep your greaves on.
I'll move when I'm ready.
Well, okay, so do I know her or do I not know her?
Crackety knows her.
Whatever. Oh god. Do I have to read all of this?
You've woken up in a strange mage's dungeon. An Imoen has released you from your cell. We must find a way to escape this place. I think that's enough information. The exit might be magic. Isn't destroyed or sold. Likely some of my items are hidden somewhere in this complex if he hasn't destroyed them. Okay.
I don't think I want to remember it all. He's been doing things to us. Lovely. Critlin! We have to get out of here!
Critlin!
I want to know what he means. Oh. Lovely. Alright. If we're in such danger, how did you get free? Tempting.
Yeah, that's a fair question.
Okay. Critlin, I can't! Oh, God.
See? Now, I mean, I was laughing my butt off last night at midnight talking about this, and it's still funny. Like,
so funny. Critlin.
Alright. Don't look at me like that. It just hurts, alright? Must have been the noise.
Don't look at me like that.
There was a fight. Assassins came after our captor, I think. Girl, you sound confused. There's people dead all over and the fighting is still going on. I could hear it. Are you going to get moving or do I leave without you? No.
I'm out of tea, guys. Do I go get more tea? What do we think?
Always get more tea.
Good. I didn't want to go by myself. I need you around, Critlin. Don't want to be here alone.
Critlin.
We should look in that room to the west first. West and just a bit north. I think I saw some weapons in there. It's a room off the corner of this one. I don't think it's our gear. They probably sold our best stuff, but anything is better than nothing. Now let's go. Okay. Whoa.
Oh.
Did I do that?
Friends. So I guess you do know them.
Did I pause? Is that pause? Okay.
So spacebar pauses. What else can you do?
Oh, I can zoom in.
Oh,
that's good. That's good to know. We're learning.
I mean, hey, good that we found that out earlier rather than later.
Yeah, that's one of those things we usually figure out like at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can control her. Oh god, this is confusing, guys. Quickly, child, bring Critlin to me. I would have words with her if she's able. I can help you too. Should I not try? I hate to see you cooped up like that. Why is she all, like, gooey? You know?
She's a jelly. She's an ooze.
Yeah.
Of course, but if Critlin is here as well, I should speak with her.
Why did she want to speak with you?
Okay!
Is there, like...
End dialogue! Why did we go through that twice?
So, when I was looking at the ads for the game, and maybe they were just showing the best parts or whatever, but it read the dialogue to you. Is that not a thing? Like, definitely the trailer had all the dialogue being spoken out loud.
She did just say that.
Oh. Eh. Anyway, you can control your whole party, according to Crackety. These be your homies, too.
These be your homies. Do you know why we are here? But she didn't read that. What does that do?
That's like if there's more, I think.
Oh.
See, like, to scroll or whatever.
At the least, I would say that not remembering me is a symptom of some deeper problem, though I would not rule out a bad attempt at humor on your part. Rude. Now, we've traveled together too long for such games, and I will answer plain and true if it will help. Okay, well, that is a very long-winded way to answer truly and plainly. Don't
you realize how much trauma we're going through at this moment?
I mean, the person that let me out is a mud pile, so... Jahira is what I'm called, as you should well know. We have traveled together for some time, and the places we have gone number too many to name. Okay. At the behest of your slain foster father, my husband Khalid and I have kept an interest in you, though you have proven to be your own person in all things. How old am I that you need to still be looking after me? We remain in your company as friends more than guardians, and our exploits together have left the land for the better. We have earned many enemies, but we have dispatched them all. Whoever has trapped us now is certainly powerful to have done this so easily. Once we know, we will deal with them in due course, but for the time being, it is more important we retrieve our friends and companions and leave this place.
Okay.
I have no time for one as long-winded as you.
Fare thee well.
I'll not rescue you.
It's a choice.
Perhaps we'll find Khalid hiding under a bed along the way. Why am I so sassy?
I mean, you don't have to pick the sassy choices. That's a choice.
Wait, what alignment do we choose?
Chaotic neutral, maybe that's why.
That's probably.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know if you are sufficient. If you are of sufficient strength, it is possible the cage may be broken. If not, you may have to search for whatever key it might need. All right.
You do have 16 strength, so, you know.
Do try to hurry. I wish to be out of here before the owner returns. The ease of our capture suggests it may be beyond our power to resist. All right, I should start playing a little sassier. It would be best to face the culprit another day on our own terms, so go and be quick. We must free ourselves soon. So then stop talking. Your husband updated. Find a way to lease. Okay. Let's pause, because I'm stressed. How do I know what I can do?
Well, can you click on it? If you click that, does it allow you to attempt to break it or something?
No, it's not doing anything. Okay, wait.
Maybe
are you holding
aren't
a weapon?
sufficient.
Oh wait, you don't have any weapons.
Fist. Talk.
I guess fists, because we don't have any weapons.
You have failed to force the door.
Okay, you're not strong enough. Maybe you have to have 18 to do it.
Dang, I would have loved to just see you, like, just break open the bars.
Be free. These bonds will not hold my wrath, but will be liberally kicked in good measure.
Can you control your anger long enough to safely leave this place?
You speak as a trapped animal, words that I know well. I hold you no grudge, for we have traveled long together, whether you choose to recall or not. I will continue my adventures with you, and those that do evil will pay dearly for their actions. So swears Minsk on something grave. So swear I. Okay. Minsk. Trapped. Her spirit is trapped in a cage created by my failure. Oh my god, come on, you're being annoying. They killed her as I watched. You see, I know not who they were, but I will redeem myself. Minsk, that is horrible. I'm so sorry for you. Why are we still talking? I won't cry for the dead. I won't. Okay, maybe a little. But I will staunch the flow of tears with righteous fury. Lullaby and good night, evil. Minsk will make you pay. Okay. Will you help me? We must join together once more. And our fury will be such that bards will run their quills dry. Yes, ink will be scarce wherever we go. Obvious, like what? Like, why would we not go together?
I mean, you could have just left that lady in the cell to die. And him, I guess.
But, like, then I'd be alone. I
Well,
can't help that freedom is to be mine, and even my permanently welded cell will not deter you. Yes, no lock at all. They feared me that much, and I am proud. But you will keep looking, of course. You would never give up. I know this. A
well,
hero
thank you,
always
Vince.
succeeds, and a hero never stops short of her goal. But she also needs the key or switch. I don't know where they are. You have brushed me aside with your words. You won't help. Boo. Can see it now. You do not intend to cut my chains. You only intend to yank them. I will make sure you do not live long enough to abandon more friends. I will do all of this as soon as I get these bars open. Fucking
Dude,
rude.
chill.
Wow.
Oh, he made it.
Vince can go on free. No, you will not. No. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, you are a smart one. I understand now. You
Yeah, that's what happened.
Ah, yes. We are a smart one.
You are as smart as Boo sometimes.
Oh, Boo is his pet space hamster.
Ah, yes. Now we can resume our adventures together. There are friends to avenge and villains to smack about the face and neck. Right, Boo? Together... Sure. Answer they will, and my sword shall be the question. We shall have fistfuls of sweet, sweet justice, and our enemies
yes.
will be stains beneath our feet. Oh my god, he talks so much. What? Yes, but all right. Boo tells me that I'm raving again. I did not notice a difference, but I shall heed his words nonetheless. A talking hamster? Come, we must go
Well,
now. Yes, Minsk and
talking
Boo
or-
and you together again.
Maybe he's
Beware
just hearing
villains.
it.
Don't ask questions better left to aged sages. Boo is quick and evasive, and there's ever so much of Minsk to search. Ew. There is no hope of getting us apart. Did he stick him up his butthole? Because that's kind of what it sounds like. Ew.
Oh.
I don't want to think about
Okay.
that too much. Minsk and
Ew.
Boo are Minsk and Boo, and we shall not be separated. Shall we go? The butts of evil await my boot print.
All right, Red Foreman.
Mm.
Okay. You stop talking now.
Can
Thank
he
God.
like break the
I want
other
to try and
cage?
loot you.
You want to loot your party member?
No! I want to loot
Oh, the
this
dead
deck.
body. Oh, what did you do?
How do I get out? I hit a button.
I
I don't
what button
know
did
what
you
button
hit?
I hit though. Okay.
This is a dark place. Tread carefully.
Okay.
So, can you convince Minsk to break her cell? Because you can control other people, so...
Oh, maybe he can break it open.
Yeah.
Where Minsk goes, evil stands beside.
I don't know how you did it the first time, but...
Minsk, you have failed to force the door.
Oh, well.
I'm
Bruh.
angry again.
Her door is harder.
Boo.
Oh, he just
Special
has
abilities.
the hamster in his inventory.
Oh my god, guys, we're traveling with a hamster.
Oh, I think I made him go berserk.
Oh no. Well, does that
But
help?
it-
Oh, he's a
but
berserker.
it's-
Oh, you're also berserk.
No, I think we're just barbarian.
All right.
Oh,
so,
yeah, right. Never mind. Okay, so...
I'm still
you wanna
failing to
look-
force the door.
You want to look for your stuff, I guess, is the goal. So maybe walk through
Okay,
that door you
so
were about
in
to walk
here?
through. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Should explore somewhat, I guess.
Investigation check.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh, I shut myself in. Ugh.
I read lever as lever. Go find the key or lever.
Well, you can read lever as lever. That's just an alternate pronunciation, right?
It just makes me think of the treasure.
Oh. Yeah.
Do you think he's gonna hurt me?
Probably.
Longsword.
Hello?
That's an axe that I can't use. Short sword.
What can you use?
Mace. Jail cell key.
Oh yeah, let me take care of that. How do
A warhammer. No. Done.
I don't know how to. What? How do I?
A two-handed sword. That's what I can use. Okay. Sir?
Ooh, I'm gonna move this up.
Alright, so I've got my warhammer. Can I give something to one of them, or is it just for me?
Craggy, I don't think we need mods. There's 4 of us. I took care of it.
I'm gonna attempt to use the jail key. Aha! Well, that is relief about time 2. We should be going immediately. Not only might our hosts come back, I simply must see the sun again in none too short a time. This dank place stifles me.
This dank place stifles me.
Crackety says you can give weapons to your party members too.
Oh, fuck. She would have it, though there are other friends we must find as well. It is good to share your company again.
So if you're playing multiplayer, would it be like
Probably.
other players in the cages?
Probably there was an extra cage that was unused. Wait, why is everything gray now?
I paused it.
Oh, I see.
Swords, not words.
I'm like, do I need to get them weapons is my concern.
You don't have to. Just go, we're playing on normal. I'm sure it'll be fine. Who is this guy who's just standing there like
I
chilling?
don't know.
Who is this man?
Okay.
Minsk and Bull stand ready. Jump on my sword while you can, Evil. Be gentle.
Okay, so like Marvel characters as D&D characters, Hulk would be an orc or half orc.
Right. Barbarian.
That's all I got. Yeah. Hulk, orc or half
Why
orc barbarian.
are none
and
of
that's all I
them-
got.
Trap detected. What? Trap detected
And
where?
size.
There, I guess. So what do I do about it?
Don't go through it?
Detecting traps.
Disarm it. I don't know how.
I've detected it. Okay. How do I disarm it? Can I punch it?
Punch the trap.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Yeah.
You know, the typical way to disarm a trap.
Whatever you need.
I mean, it's probably a good way to disarm yourself. Like,
Yeah.
Whoa. How do I get them all to walk with me? Like, why can't we move as a unit?
well, maybe.
And who is him?
Who is
Who
him?
is him?
I don't know. Who
Jail
him
keep
is.
Gollum that
He's a-
just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be a very good jail keep. Oh, you can select them all if you click and drag.
Maybe he doesn't do anything unless he's like actually like directed specifically.
What do you mean?
What do you want?
Like that?
Yeah.
Right you are.
You're still walking past him.
Ugh! What's happening?
Is jail keep attacking you? Oh, you're being attacked. You're fighting. You're having a fight. It's happening.
I paused. Where is it coming from, though?
There's smoke methods. I don't. Can you zoom in further?
Okay.
You may have paused it too quickly that you can't even see what's attacking. Like they're not on screen yet, I don't know. Oh, the red health bar is what you're looking at. I see. That's the smoke method. Seems like everybody's taking care of it and it's fine. You didn't even have to do
Everybody's
anything.
just ganging up on this thing.
Poor smoke method.
Did it stand a chance? Meanwhile, the golem's just chilling.
Everybody's just punching this smoke. Good.
As you wish.
I
Stomp
don't
the
know what I'm
smoke.
doing. Should
Damn,
I be
it's not
playing
dead
as
yet.
somebody else? You're like struggling.
Why are they took it down 4 bars and then just can't kill it. It's near death.
Oh god.
Oh, what's happening?
I don't know, but he's like struggling.
Did you equip your weapons?
I don't know.
You go to the inventory, pause it. Go to your
Where
inventory.
is my inventory?
I think you clicked on it earlier by accident. I for inventory. So...
He wouldn't pick up a weapon. He like refused to go to
Well-
the table.
Okay, then... But then... Man.
Okay. She's equipped.
Well, you got 2 weapons.
Is that what I should be doing? Quick
think-
items?
Mm.
Shield. Okay, that's shield. Okay.
What is it?
Yes. Crackety says yes, that's correct.
Easily done. Do you need something?
Oh, wow.
That was a lot easier. Yeah. It's just...
Alright.
When you're not just trying to punch the smoke, you know.
He's gonna go look at weapons one more time.
Maybe it's because he's like a berserker.
There we go.
Can
No,
be-
he's...
Oh, okay.
You fight. See battle
Do you ever stop talking?
for run.
You can have all the weapons.
Minsk and Bull stand ready. Make way, villainy. Hero coming through.
Tell me. At once.
You all don't need to talk, you know.
Tell me at once.
Was that that's a locked door.
It does appear so. Maybe? I mean, can you click on it? Oh, it says locked. Okay. You failed to force the door.
Okay.
Well. There was another... You can go down, I think. Right? There seemed to be a direction downward, maybe? We're starting to get this, I think. Ish. In so much as we as a group ever understand video games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, what's that?
Ah!
Oh no.
Who is this? And why are you just standing by yourself?
Of course. Very well.
You don't seem to be attacking him. Oh god, Minsk is gonna die.
Pause.
I mean, then you wouldn't have to worry about him talking anymore.
Well, your party members can't die, I think, was one of the things for normal mode, so... I don't know what
Oh.
happens, though.
No, I don't think we have help.
Can you heal? Yeah. Are any of them a healer? Like,
I don't think so.
I bet that annoying lady, she seemed magey.
Shapeshift. Ooh, shapeshift.
Ooh, I like that.
Alright, how do I help him?
Serpent and raring to go.
Stealth. Abilities. Charm animal.
Well,
So not helpful, my guy.
Okay, so Annoying Lady is a druid, that's why she can shapeshift. That makes sense.
Should I have her shapeshift now?
I don't know.
Does she become stronger? Do I have to keep clicking? Will they just continue to do what I ask them to do?
Seems like it. It seems like they just continue doing that until you tell them otherwise. Wait, Cracky, that wasn't a yes or no question. Which is that a yes to? I mean, it was 2 questions, I guess. So, should she keep clicking? Or will they continue?
Oh, I have 2 dead party members.
Oh no.
Oh,
That's not good.
Or 2 almost dead party members.
Can you direct them outside of the room?
Yeah, maybe release them. Oh, you have to turn off the machine.
Oh. Well. This machine buzzes with electrical energy.
Consider it done.
Is there like a lever anywhere?
This is a switch of some
lever.
kind. Well, did I successfully switch it off? Oh, I did.
Oh, there we go. Did everybody live?
Lever.
Alright, well, he died.
Oh.
Death. Can I not heal him? There's just no... He's just dead, and they're both almost dead.
That seems like a problem. Well, we've managed to already kill one of, according to Cracky, the best characters. And his hamster.
PPK, partial... wait, PPK, partial party kill.
Doing great, just as usual.
Oh no, Boo's not dead too, is he?
Boo probably is hanging out in his butt somewhere, so it's fine.
Hanging out in his butt.
You wish.
I want to play regular D&D.
Same.
I'm good at D&D combat.
Hmm?
I'm not good at
Truly
this.
done.
Well,
Oh,
you're
dear.
learning. There wasn't exactly a tutorial.
No, there was not, which I don't appreciate.
I really want to.
Critlin, why are you just talking to me?
When?
Welcome. You have escaped somewhat later than I had hoped. I am
Atakwa.
Ataka?
The taco?
You have my welcome. Wait. You have my welcome to my little pieces of this place. I do so try to keep it more appealing than the rest. I've escaped. I now wonder what part you had in my capture. Worry not, Critlin. I did so enjoy your blundering about Baldur's Gate. I did not wish to see you captured. Such assistance as you will get from me depends on yourself. Are you prepared to answer a question? Ugh. I will answer your question if it leads to you making some more sense. Then here's my hypothetical question. You and your sibling are captured and locked in separate cells, unable to communicate. The mage responsible appears and speaks. He explains his sadistic game. In each cell, there is a magical button. If you press your button and your sibling does not, you will die. But your sibling is free. If your sibling presses the button and you do not, they will die.
Prisoner's dilemma.
But you will go free. If neither you nor your sibling press the button, both of you will die. Both of you press
This is
respective
just
buttons. Both of you will die.
Batman.
It's
This
just
is
it's
one
a
of the
prisoner's
Batman
dilemma.
movies.
It's not it's a famous problem that shows up everywhere. That's just like
So wait.
yeah.
One of us presses the button. Whoever didn't press it dies.
Yeah. So someone's dying no matter what. So
And the only way to ensure that I am the one who always dies is by not pressing the button?
yes. Correct.
Because if we...
Yeah,
But if we
you
both-
ensure... Basically, if you both press it, you both die. If neither of you press it, you both die. If only one of you presses it, then the other person lives.
Got it.
So you do
True.
actually have to press it in order to
Wait!
get your sibling to live.
No! Damn it!
Wait, what did you click? Which
I
one did-
thought that if I didn't press it... Damn it.
Well,
Now he thinks I'm a coward. I didn't mean it.
Oh,
I'm
oh.
stupid, not a coward. How are they suddenly healed? Just
No.
attack something, would you?
Andrew, in this case, I think it was that if you both press it, you both die. The only option was to press it on the hope that your sibling lives. I think. So that's why Kate is a coward. Critlin is a coward.
Critlin is a coward and Kate is an idiot.
Did you just draw them into the next room?
This is a dark place.
Where did all the enemies go?
I don't know, some of them just left.
At once.
They just disappeared.
They fucked this shit up.
Ah, they hid. Could all of you attack, please? Make yourself useful.
What is it? Vengeance.
Vengeance.
That was aggressive.
Do you need something?
Do you need something?
Of course.
Oy.
Well,
You have come through after all, Critlin. Here then is the advice that I offer. Seek out Relev. He has been waiting for one such as you. Offer him the release that he craves, and you shall find that the focus of your journeys shall soon become apparent. Farewell.
the release that he craves. I don't know how
Don't
I feel
like
about that
that.
statement.
Don't like it even a little bit. Oh, wow. That was swift. So, should we be going this way?
Very well.
See, if there's enemies there, that's usually going the right direction. If, D&D has taught me anything. That's like a philosophy of life, If you are traveling and you meet enemies, then that means you probably went the right way. Probably not a good philosophy of life, though.
Except this door is locked.
Well,
Done. Yes,
and you don't have the strong guy to help.
as you wish.
He couldn't get through any of the doors I came across anyway.
Good point, good point.
Useless.
Andrew, I live in a world where there are many...
Ah!
Where I get in fights on buses and stuff, so, I have many an enemy of an 8th grader.
Critlin's near death.
Oh no.
Run! Run, Critlin, run! I died.
Oh no. Does it
Ooh.
reset you because you didn't
Okay.
save?
Okay. Okay.
Oh my.
This is totally normal.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's what happens. That's definitely what happens, yep. Mm-hmm. Hello. How far back is it gonna put us?
Main character has been killed. You must restart the game.
Well, and we never saved, so...
Oh no.
Alright,
Oh.
how do you feel about doing your little anime corner while I go to the bathroom.
Okay. No, Crackety, do you think we saved? Who do you think we
Woo.
are? What did you do?
My bad. I was trying to mute my mic
Oh
so that you
no!
don't just hear ambient. Can you still see
Our
the screen?
stream.
Nope, it's gone.
It's broken.
What?
You're gonna have to reset that. We had all those issues earlier before the stream started. Just exit the game and re-enter it. It's fine. And then go to the bathroom. And then I'll do Anime Corner. Well, maybe not in that order, but anyway. We'll be back. It's briefly.
We lost, guys. We lost the game.
We've already lost. We've only been here for an hour. It's fine.
At least this time we'll know kind of like what the deal is. But now we have to go through all that dialogue again. That's gonna.
I'm not reading all that dialogue out loud again.
Oh,
I don't think you
definitely
need
not.
to. Just click through it quickly.
Okay.
Nope. I just see a white box.
Oh, for crying out loud. Let me reshare my screen,
Yeah.
maybe?
Yeah, that's probably smart. Anyway, while we figure this out, Anime Corner, guys. Because I haven't done it for the winter season, it's almost spring. There's only like 3 episodes left before the spring season begins. So like I'm very behind. But also that means I'll have real opinions instead of just like episode 2 opinions, you know?
Episode 2 opinions.
Yeah, you know.
I have dinner waiting for me downstairs, so I will be right back.
I'm just gonna have this alone to no one. I'm just gonna talk to no one. Okay, Shan. I see.
Pretend like I'm still here.
Okay, fine. I mean, I guess I'm talking to my viewers. My viewers, because none of you are
Viewers
gonna be
like
here.
you.
Yeah. Hold on, I need to look at my list to see what am I actually watching right now, because I think I'm
I'll
watching
wait
like
till
10
you
shows.
start your spiel, because once you start your spiel, then you
Yeah,
usually are like
I'm
on a good
in it.
track.
Yeah. Okay, first show I'm watching is called
All right, dinner time.
Love of Kill. And I would say I don't love it. I don't want to kill it, but I don't love it. So, it's basically about these 2 assassins, who fall in love, but it's not quite that simple, because of course that doesn't sound simple, but so the girl works for some agency, like a hitman agency or something like that. It's kind of unclear because they seem like above the books, or above the board or whatever. Yes, Crackety. I'm just talking about the animes I'm currently watching this season, so it's my anime corner. Anyway, but the guy, he's just himself. He's just a private assassin or something, but he just kills people for funsies, it seems like. He's not actually a serial killer, but it seems like, but I don't know if people hire him. I really don't know. But anyway, there's this mystery about she doesn't remember who she really is, and he kind of doesn't remember who he really is, and then he falls in love with her at first sight, basically, because for some reason her smell doesn't upset him, or something crazy like that. It's gross. I don't like it. But anyway, so he just, pursues her. And, she's supposed to be, an assassin, too, but at no point in the entire story does she actually do anything cool. It's always him, and I'm just that's annoying, A. Also, she wears a very stupid outfit. She wears, a brown pantsuit, and it does not work for her. It's not a good look. And, also, she just barely talks. She annoys me. And also, her name is Chateau Dankworth. Chateau Dankworth. So, I really don't think there's much to say positively about this show, except for, it's fine. I'm kind of intrigued by the mystery of it, but every time they say her name, I just can't. Also, one of the people who works at her agency, I think he's supposed to be maybe, Indian, is my guess, but, he has no mouth. They animate him without a mouth at all. So he's just eyes, and then his, chin sort of moves when he speaks, so you can tell he's speaking. And he has this very weird accent, which is why I think he's supposed to be Middle Eastern or something like that, because he has like a slightly Middle Eastern accent, which is interesting in Japanese. I've never seen that before, but that's cool. But like, he has no mouth. So like, it's very weird, especially with the accent. It's just a lot, this character. And he looks like he's 12 years old, but then he's driving a car in one episode, and I'm like, you can't even see over the steering wheel. So, and his name is Jim. I don't know. Anyway, so that's Love of Kill. I wouldn't really recommend it. Unless you just want to hear people say the name Chateau Dankworth, because that was kind of worth it for like 5 seconds. Next, I'm watching Orient, which is also not great. It's a shonen anime that was originally written by the same writer who wrote Maggie, which I like Maggie. Magi? I really don't know how it's pronounced, actually. I want to pronounce it Magi, but I'm pretty sure it's actually Magi is how it's pronounced in Japanese. But anyway, so so it's written by the same guy, and I like Magi. I've read the entire manga of Magi. I think it's, I wouldn't call it superb or anything, but it was enjoyable. I like that manga, I have not read the spin-off, but I've watched the anime of the spin-off, which is only like 13 episodes, so it's not the whole thing, because the spin-off is still ongoing, I think. But anyway, Orient is not good. It's just not. It's about some, like, a demon army takes over kind of sort of Japan during like the Edo period or something. I don't know. A time period in the past a little bit, and so it's like sort of an altered history of Japan where demons are like ruling it, and people all believe the demons to be their saviors. They sort of like worship them, except for the kind of like samurai guys. The samurai guys are like, no, they're bad. And so if you are like related to a samurai guy, you're like forced to wear your sword chained to you forever to show that you're kind of a criminal, but you're basically just fine. Like, that you're not actually a criminal, even though you like rose up against the demon army when they took over. But now you're just like living your life, and people just sort of throw rocks at you and stuff. But like, otherwise you're fine. You can have a house. It's whatever. And then there's like there's then like an entire like these armies of these like they're called bushi, not samurai, but so there's these armies, these bushi troops or something like that, who live in houses that fly. So they look like Howl's Moving Castle, basically, some of them, but others like literally float. And they'll have entire villages that are and stuff, and it's just like, well, what happened to all the repression or oppression, not repression? What happened to all the oppression? Because like, they seem to be doing fine for themselves. They're going out, they're fighting demons. It's cool. And so anyway, the main character is like just a guy who was going to be pledged to the demons to work to be eaten, basically, but whatever. And then his best friend is a bushi, and so is the son of a bushi, and so he's like, I want to be a bushi, and so he convinces his friend, the son of the bushi, to be a bushi with him, and so they go off to bushi together, and so they want to fight demons and stuff, except they meet, like, they go to fight one of the, like, archdemons. I don't remember what they're called, but Kishin, I think. Anyway, they go to fight the Kishin, and, like, one of the bushi troops comes in to help, and, like, he's just like, oh, they're stealing our kill, and he has no idea how to fight a demon, and he clearly he has like a non-powered up weapon. Like, the bushi troop has these super magic weapons that can take down demons, and he does not. He has never fought a demon before, and he's just decided he's going to take down the archdemon. And then he's really upset that the bushi troop won't let him like kill steals. Like, they steal his kill, even though he absolutely would not have been capable of killing anything, and he's just mad about it. So it's obnoxious. Like, I hate this kid. And then Yeah, so that's, like, basically this show is... Then they go off, they're just like, we're not going to join that troop because I don't like them because they stole my kill, even though I couldn't have killed anything, and they saved our lives, but whatever. Who cares about that part? So they go off on their own, on their... I think it's the Bushi horse or something, like their metal horse, I forget. Anyway, they ride motorcycles. Like, they ride a magic motorcycle that just has crystals shooting out the back. And and it's called a horse. For, I don't know, reasons. And so, because the Bushi kid has his own horse motorcycle, that they just ride off. And then, of course, they meet the third member of their party that is a girl who immediately just takes her top off, basically, to try to distract them or something. So, that's how that's gonna go. She's kind of annoying. And, yeah. Bye, Crackety. So, that's Orient. I would also not recommend that. It's not great. Let's see. I finally started, what's it called? Ranking of Kings. That is great. That's a 10 out of 10. I'm only halfway through it. I'm not actually caught up yet, but 10 out of 10. So, I would highly recommend Ranking of Kings. That one, yes. A+ on that one. It's very cute. Love it. If anyone's in the Discord, you've seen me mention that before. So, yes, wonderful, beautifully animated, A+ show. I don't need to go further into it. It's very good, and I love Healing. That's the character, Queen Healing. Great, love her. Anyway, next, actual good show, Sabikui Bisco. I realize I just said the last one was an actual good show, but, like, this one is one I was watching before I was told to watch Ranking of Kings. So this is the one that is actually from this season. Anyway, that one's actually good. It's about some people who, false cracks, no, I just listed shows that are not. Everything is not an actual good show. So, Sabikui Bisco is about, like, future Japan, I think, after, like, this sort of apocalyptic event occurs where everything becomes very, like, worn down and rusty. And so people are affected by this disease called the rusting, where, like, their bodies start to rust. And there are these people called the mushroom keepers who, like, grow mushrooms and stuff, and everybody thinks that the mushrooms are what causes rusting, like it attracts the rusting wind, but actually the mushrooms are the cure for the rusting, and it's all like propaganda for reasons that would be spoilers. But like, so like the story is about a mushroom keeper who befriends a doctor, who they go off to try and find a mushroom that can actually cure the rusting. And anyway, this show is so interesting because there's so many weird, just wild in the, like, crazy sense, animals in this show. Because, like, there's just the creatures they meet throughout the story are just so weird. Like, flying, whales and like, a helicopter that is made out of the body of a slug. So that's weird. And, like, just these animals mixed with machinery. It's very strange, but it's, like, so cool. And they also travel around Japan on the back of a giant crab. And so, like, honestly, can't beat that. I really recommend this show. It's very good. So, let's see. The crab is not an enemy. The crab is a good guy. The crab is wonderful. Do not say the crab is an enemy. Who's back? I hear voice. I hear clicking.
It's me.
Someone can listen to me now. I can have a conversation, a back and forth, instead of talking to... I mean, I guess I am talking to Cracks right now, but
Can
still.
you see the game, at least?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't check. Hold on. Yes, I can see and hear it. We good. So anyway,
Talk while I speed run.
okay, that's good. So, I'm just going to very speed run what I just said, just so you know where I'm at. I watched Love of Kill, not good. Orient, also not good. Ranking of Kings, wonderful, 10 out of 10. Sabakui Bisco, it's not over yet, so I'm not really going to rate it yet, but it's probably going to be a 9 or a 10 out of 10, depending on how it ends. Well, it's hard having I feel like I'm talking to myself, even though I realize I'm talking to you, Andrew. I realize it. It's just weird. I realize that's how real streamers work, but clearly I'm not a real streamer. I have friends. That was also did not come out how I meant it to.
I'm a real streamer. I have friends.
That's not what I meant. I meant friends that are here physically with me. Well, not physically, but like pictorially, voicily with me. Anyway, I'm watching My Dress Up Darling, which is a show about cosplaying, basically. So this show is actually like all the rage online right now because it's also kind of ecchi, but and it has like the waifu of the century in it kind of situation. But hear me out. So, My Dress Up Darling is about a girl who wants to cosplay, who meets a guy who works at a Hina doll shop, which are those like, you know, those the dolls with like the glass heads that are like real white, ceramic heads, and then like just a body of real intricate clothing that's, I guess, Japanese, I assume. I don't know. Does that sound familiar? Well, it's a type of doll that is this guy works in a Hina doll shop. Like, his family owns it. Anyway, so he knows how to, like, sew their clothes, like, for these dolls, like, these really intricate clothes, but and so he meets the girl who wants to cosplay, and basically says, like, hey, you're really bad at sewing, because that's true, she is very bad at sewing, and so, like, she asked him to sew for her, and so, he begins sewing her cosplays for her, and so it's all about them learning how to cosplay and, falling in love with each other or whatever. But, like, I've learned a lot from this. Mind you, I actually read the whole manga before the series came out, so I'm above all of the people who are only just getting into it because waifu material, okay? I was reading it because cosplay material. But anyway, so I know, like, this, I've been reading this manga for several years, which is very surprising, I'm sure, if anyone actually knows what this show is. But it's pretty good. Though, once again, it is ecchi, so, like, grain of salt and all that. Next, I'm watching, I'm watching the final season of Attack on Titan, which is, always generally good. I enjoy my Attack on Titan. I don't really have any commentary for that, because it's Attack on Titan, so. But it's actually going to end. Attack on Titan has 4 episodes left, and then it's actually over, which is something. I'm watching, I don't remember how this translates. Tensai OG, something about a prince. The prince something or other. The Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt. So I'm watching that, which is a mouthful. And so that show is about a prince who is the prince of, like, a sort of poor-ish country, or at least a country that's in debt but still has power and stuff. And so he's, like, wants to raise the country out of debt so that he can sell the country and just go not be a prince anymore because he's lazy. But he's, like, really smart. So, like, people keep attacking them because the country has power and is in a particular position in the world that makes them, people want to attack them. And so he keeps getting into these, like, mini wars with people and stuff, and people keep wanting him to, like, like this princess of another country wanted him to marry her and stuff, and like all this stuff keeps happening where he keeps having to keep being the prince. Like he can't raise the country out of debt because they keep having to go to war, and like he all of this stuff. And so like, but he's very smart, so he gets through all of the things. It's just that he cannot get the country out of debt, and so he's stuck as the prince. But it's very clear that he's going to be this forever, and that's just his future. There's no way he gets out of this. But I actually quite enjoy this one. I'm guessing, again, not over yet, but I'd give it maybe an 8. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. The animation is sometimes, and it didn't have an opening song. Its opener, like the opening song, didn't have proper animation until like episode 5, which is very weird. Like it just had clips from the show as the opening, which was very strange. And then so it's like they just decided to do that later, like just tack on an opener. I don't know, it was weird, but really overall I enjoy the story. I'm probably going to read the manga after it's over to continue. And then finally the last one is Tokyo 24th Ward, which is about like an alternate version of Tokyo where there's like this something happened. There's this one area that's like an island in the middle of the like bay that used to be run by, I don't know, England or something. I don't remember, the Dutch, something. It was run by someone else, and now it's being annexed back into Tokyo somehow. I don't know. The point is they're like, it's like a slightly altered future-y kind of thing. Where there's current technology, but better technology. Like it's a little bit more higher technology. And there's these 3 characters whose names I do not remember, but they're known as RGB because one of them has red hair, one of them has blue hair, and one of them has green hair, so they're RGB. Who suddenly gain like sort of clairvoyance. No, clairvoyance. Not really. They're just given visions by the ghost of their dead friend. And these visions give them trolley problems to solve, basically, where it's like, this terrible event is about to occur. Will you alter the event so that you can save a whole bunch of people? Or like leave it so that you and kill one person, or the other way around. I don't remember. But like, it's those kind of trolley problems where you kill one person or you kill a whole bunch of people, you get to decide kind of thing. They're like trying to figure out why the ghost of their dead friend is like giving them superpowers, like clairvoyance and then just slight superpowers, because one of them is like a street artist who is a hacker. And so like he gains super hacking skills whenever is contacted by this ghost. One of them gains like actual like physical skills because he wants to be a hero because he wasn't able to save his friend and stuff, so he hasn't felt like much of a hero. And then I don't remember what the third guy's just kind of, I forget, strategy maybe? He might be a strategist. I don't remember what his ability is. But anyway, it's interesting. I'm curious what's going to happen and stuff. Because I don't really I don't know where it's going, but it's fun. I like it. As it is right now, I'd give it like an 8 out of 10 as well. If it could go either way depending on how it ends, but you know. So some very good, some fairly good, and then some just bad ones. Nothing that's like real middling, you know, this season. And that is, I think, my anime roundup for what I'm watching right now. Yep. Yeah, that's all of it. Oh, I guess I did just finish the second season, or the second season of Demon Slayer also, which, as I said, I have opinions on that, but it's beautiful. We all know Demon Slayer is a beautiful show. Like, animation, superb. Action sequences, wonderful. Story, not really actually a fan, and I have a lot of issues with certain elements of it, but
Not a problem.
you know, I'm not gonna rail on a show that everybody likes, so Wait, Cracks, what it are you referring to?
I can't see the chat, so just
Mhm.
don't read whatever he says out loud.
Don't?
Oh god, I hit rest.
Wait,
I shouldn't have done it.
wait, what? Oh, you're...
I hit rest. I just wanted to see what would happen.
Oh. Well, you rested. That seems... I mean, you healed, right?
Yeah, I didn't need it, though.
Did you save yet? Wait,
Yes.
were you being sarcastic when you said that, Kate? Don't read it out loud.
No, because I haven't watched the show this season.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But I can't see the chat, so if he types it, I can't see it.
It's not spoilers necessarily.
That's
see.
what I meant,
I
yes.
see what you're getting at. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's great to know, Cracks. It's really my issue is I just don't like, you know what, this is not a spoiler, because you've seen season 1, so I was fine with it before, but it started to grate on me when I thought more about it, is I do not like, I like Nezuko, I think she's fine, I do not like her as a character, though. I don't like that she was a teenage girl who is treated like a baby, basically. Like, she is a toddler sometimes. Like, she has the brain of a toddler, and then the thing that happens in this season that would be a spoiler, and it's just like, okay, and now we're here, but she still can't talk. Like, it's like my issue with The Little Mermaid. I don't like The Little Mermaid. For the same reason. I don't like the removal of the voice from a woman. Like, it feels wrong, and so it bothers me. So yeah. And so she just exists to be cute, and then be badass. But, like, she doesn't exist to have, like, a voice. And that just will, I don't like it. But I'll keep watching it because everybody watches Demon Slayer. It's, like, the most popular thing in the world right now. And it's very pretty. I also don't really like the main Hashira from this season. I just don't like him. I mean, he's, like, fine, but I don't know. I don't like his introduction. It really bothered me for obvious reasons, if you know the introduction. And also his, I just don't like how women are treated in this season. I just don't. And that's that. So there we are. But there, I'm done. No spoilers. It's an anime, it's not a spoiler to say that women aren't treated great. Oh god.
I have successfully gotten us to where we were.
I'm proud of you. Did you save?
I did.
I'm double proud of you. I have, however... Did I read any interesting manga recently or anything? I finished Code Geass. Code Geass? I don't really know how that's pronounced either.
Code Geass is what it kind of sounds like you're trying to say?
Code Geass. Yes, that's it.
I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah. I finally finished that. I've been watching that for like 9 months, but I finally finished that. I enjoyed it to an extent, but then I wasn't satisfied with the ending. So, yeah. But that's like a classic that's got like an 8.5 on rating on Mal, so, you know, it is. I get it. But let's see. My manga. What manga have I read recently? I don't remember the last time I talked about manga I was reading. It's been a while. I'm reading so many, though, so you know. Can I sort this by, like, recent? Last updated. Well, that's not going to be helpful. I've read so many.
Need something, as you wish.
What is this? When did I read that? Oh, I didn't read it, that's why.
Duh.
I see.
Okay. No one's accomplishing anything. Come inside.
No, I guess I haven't read any manga that's worth talking about at the moment.
Wow. Is there anything good on the table?
I mean, Andrew,
Fancier
yeah,
Warhammer.
see, here's my main issue with mech anime, is that I don't like robots. I don't like robots when you build a robot and are just like, yes, I'm supposed to feel the same way about this robot as I do about the human protagonists. Like, it's a person, but this is a robot. Like, that just doesn't fly for me. Like, I don't have the same, it just doesn't. So, the mech was not alive. It was just mech, and that's fine. I can accept that. Like, are mechs my favorite? No, but I've watched a few mechs. I mean, Gurren Lagann, 86. I've watched 2. Oh wait, I just caught up on, or what's this show? Oh my goodness, Genlock. That's basically a mech. It's not an anime, but still. No, Andrew, they're not. A lot of them, I just don't like robots, and so many of them give the robots feelings, or some sort of magicness to it that makes it feel like the robots are more than just tech. It's like, if it's tech, I'm fine with that. I don't mind the tech. It's just usually there's something metaphysical in there that just, Gundam is so long. Why would I want to do that? There's too much Gundam. I'm not going to watch Gundam. But yeah, so my current anime journey, or plan, is to watch the top 100 most popular anime on Mal. Like, that's my current plan, which is why I watched Code Geass. I have to watch Ava. See, that's the thing, is Ava's on the top 100 list, and so I'm going to watch it, and this is the problem, because I know Ava has that metaphysical stuff going on. Anyway, I have to. It's on the top 100. It's gonna happen. But currently, I'm at Your Lie in April, which is also not my type of show, because it's one of those shows that's made to make you cry. Like, that's the whole point. And so, it's not my type. But, I mean, the music is good, so there's that. I'll enjoy the music of it, and then I won't cry because I am a robot, and so...
Of course.
Of course. But that's where I'm at with anime.
Okay, I know you want to.
But if I look at the list of the top 100 anime on Mal, top 100 most popular, not like best, just most popular, because I want to be able to say I've watched like everything. Yeah, Andrew, they are. Androids are uncanny. I don't know if I'd say uncanny is the word, but yeah.
Are you talking about like Uncanny Valley?
Yeah, like androids are Uncanny Valley. Sure. I don't know. I don't like. Just
stand in the back.
Robots don't have souls, and I don't want you to try and convince me they do. Like, that's just it doesn't work for me. Like, I don't want to think about like you can transfer your brain into a robot. We'll get to a point where AI is so good that it can duplicate humanity. Like, I don't like that. Which I get is freaky to most people, but I don't even gain entertainment from it generally. So,
Tell me.
so anyway, if I go to the list of the most popular anime of all time, I refuse to watch number 1 because it's Death Note, and I don't need to do that to myself again. Will I watch it again or finish it someday? I don't know. Depends on how much I hate myself. So, other than Death Note, I have watched the top 20, besides Death Note. Once I watch Your Lie, then I will only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 left in the top 50. So, like, I'm getting there. You know?
Which 7?
That would be. So, it's Your Lie, and then, let's see. Erased is after that. Then Konosuba. Then Bleach. I don't think I'm gonna watch Bleach. I think I'm gonna not do that to myself either, because that's a lot. That's 8 years worth of an anime. I don't need to watch that, so we'll skip that one. I'll allow myself that freedom. Then Parasite. Then the second season of Tokyo Ghoul, I don't know. I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes of that and then dropped it. So it is technically on my dropped list, not my unwatched list. So, and then Ava, then Another, and that's the top 50. And Andrew has a question for you. He wants to know how old the girls in Owl House are, which I can answer. No, I can't, actually, but I've watched the Owl House, too, you know.
They're teenagers.
Yeah, they're, young teenagers.
Like,
though.
yeah,
like
13,
15 at
14,
most.
15,
yeah, somewhere in there.
Like, high school. Young high school.
Or late middle school.
Sure.
Yeah.
I would guess, like, freshmen.
Yeah, that makes sense. It does seem kind of like, yeah. I mean, I guess they go to a high school, don't they? They don't go to a middle school.
This is a question that I'm sure Shannon knows.
Yeah.
When Shannon returns.
Yeah. Let's see, what's the next 50? How close am I to the top 100? Let's see, okay, Darling in the Franxx, that's a mech that why is that so popular? It's not even that good. It's got a 7.25 rating. Like, that doesn't deserve to be that popular. JoJo. I guess I'll finally get around to watching JoJo. High School of the Dead. Isn't that an ecchi? I think that's an ecchi. I don't remember. I think it has zombies. I really don't know anything about that. Overlord. I think that's a mech. I think that's a mech. Or no, it's not a mech. Sorry, it's a isekai, I guess. I don't remember anything about that one. I guess Andrew, but still. Now Black Clover, no thank you. I'm not doing that to myself either. Clannad, okay, fine, I'll watch Clannad, I guess. I don't have the desire to watch that either, but Konosuba 2, yeah, I'll watch that. Kakegurui. I don't really want to watch that, but, you know, here we are. Yeah, I know. Love Chunibyo and Other Drugs, I think is the name of that one. Or Love... It's something... God, I'm never going to be able to pronounce the word Chunibyo. Chunibyo, I think, is it. But anyway. Yes, Andrew, Kakegurui... God, I'm so bad at this. Is the gambling one. Yes, Chunibyo. It's hard when you're reading it. Okay, it's a word. Chuunibyo. Chunibyo. There, I got it. Anyway, point being, that word. I guess I'll watch that. Awari no Seraph. I dropped that a while ago. so I probably won't rewatch that.
What is it?
What is this? Oh, slime.
Do you need something?
Dead Man Wonderland, yeah. Guilty Crown. Bungo Stray Dogs. And Samurai Champloo. And then I'm out. And then I'm at 100. Angel of the Dark Woods. What are you asking? What is that a question mark of? I don't know what that means. Oh, Owari no Seraph. I don't know. It's Owari, not Omori. I don't know if that changes your translation. But yeah, Seraph. Well, Tenchi is angel. It translates to, or at least the English name is, for the record, Seraph of the End. So, yes, I realize it's an English word, but I don't know, man. Anyway, so that's my plan. What else is there to talk about? Books. What books am I reading? I just read I finished Kate's book. Not Kate's book, but the book that I borrowed from Kate, which I talked about already because the lesbian necromancers. We've discussed this, I suppose. Yes, Andrew, that is correct. That is what a seraph is. I am aware of this. But what else have I read recently? I read like a sort of it wasn't a romance novel. It's a young adult book, so it's not a romance novel, but it was kind of one of those books that is like romance centric is the point, but it was about a like early 1900s, I think, like Titanic time period, because it was supposed to basically kind of be like the Titanic, where these fancy pants people get on a boat and the boat crashes, that kind of thing. But there's like slightly less tragically. Well, I guess no, people died. So, but anyway, the main character is like a kind of a teen girl who is chasing after a wealthy guy, going on this fancy pants boat. And she's also moneyed and all of that, and high society, and all of that. And I read a lot of books that are like that. Like this one author I really like who writes about like 1900 through like 1920s kind of like time periods and stuff, and like and a little bit earlier actually. I think one of her books is like 1880s or something. But anyway, it's like writing sort of historical fiction-y stuff about high society. And so that was what this was about. Some girl in high society chasing after a guy, but then the boat crashes, and so she and the guy and a bunch of other people end up on a deserted island, and so she like sort of embraces her wild side, and decides to, not be so fancy about things, but like all of the posh people that they meet are like not. They like judge the heck out of her, even though they're on a beach in their tattered evening gowns. They're like still trying to like judge her for propriety's sake and stuff. And it's just like she's going out and hunting boar and whatnot. And so it's honestly, I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was very good. It was fun. Let's see. What did I read before that? What did I read recently? I'm running out of stuff. Let's see. What did I read before that? Before Gideon the Ninth. Oh, right. I read that book that was on, like, the history of the language of the internet. Or internet linguistics. I read a book on that.
She sure did.
I did. It was very interesting. I love linguistics. Linguistics are very interesting to me. Well, I have not read that many books this year yet. Only 5. I thought
Oh my god.
I thought it'd been more than that.
I know. Get a grip.
What is going on in the game right now?
I'm talking to these weird half-dead people in these tubes.
Oh, okay. Cool. Good. Love it.
But did you not leave the cell key at the table in the jailer's room? I think I already got that. What help are you?
I think I'm gonna go get my hummus. I'll be right back.
Oh no, I'm alone. I guess I can actually read the dialogue of the game. Master, is that you? I can barely see. It's been so long and I've been so alone, all alone. I am not your master. Can you hear me? Do you hear me speaking? I did not mean to go into the mistress's room. I knew it was dangerous, so very dangerous in there. I was not trying to steal anything, truly. He was going on a panty raid. I was not trying to steal anything of the mistress's. I would never do that. I am faithful to you always. Why am I here, master? What has happened to me? You do not hear me, do you? How very sad what has been done to you. Was I hurt in the mistress's room, master? I can remember nothing. Is this mistress's room truly so deadly? I am sorry, so sorry. I will never do it again, master. Please save me, please. Oh dear. I don't know that any of these were helpful. Okay. Let's see.
Not a problem.
I am back. See, I did say that I would have a snack later, didn't I?
You did. Rebecca, I did not know this fact, eats her dinner at like 3:34.
Specifically
Like-
3:34.
Yeah. Like a little grandma.
Yes, I do. Well, you know. That's when I'm hungry. For dinner. How did you not know this fact? I feel like I say this all the time. Or maybe it's just that you've never been there when I said it. Because I get judged for this all the time.
Hold on.
So my hummus is everything bagel flavored. And I didn't know how I'd feel about that, but it's pretty good. I've tried almost every hummus that ShopRite sells. Like every flavor of hummus. And so I would rank this one pretty high. Like I've had some pretty meh hummuses from doing this. This one's pretty good.
Oh, I still have the energy cells.
Who says what?
Yeah, Andrew, I mean, I didn't start doing this until later on in my life. I did eat lunch at the time. It's just that my ideal day of eating would be breakfast at 10 a.m., dinner at 4. Like, that's A+ eating schedule. It's not really how high school allowed me to eat, though. I had to eat breakfast at 7 a.m., And so I was starving by by 10 a.m. because that's when I wanted to eat breakfast in the first place. And then I would get home and I'd be hungry again, but I wouldn't have dinner until a normal hour because that's when, you know, I guess people eat at like 5 or something. And so that's when we would normally eat. And so, like, it was just a sad time all around. But now I've adapted to my life and I eat when I want to.
No, she died. God damn it.
You just save.
I don't remember when I saved. It wasn't that long ago. Jesus.
Well, I mean, I do technically eat 2 times a day. That's when I want is 2 times a day. So that is probably contributing to that, Andrew, if we're being honest. It's just the hours that I want is what I meant. Because I have no desire to eat 3 meals a day. I want 2 meals and a snack.
Back.
Welcome back. How was dinner?
It was filling. Very good, but I'm full.
Mm.
Oh, hey, we're out of the place. What do you mean, am I French? Oh, bonjour, oui, oui, baguettes.
Do I try and load back to keep her alive, or do I just say, fuck it?
Which one died?
Jahira?
I mean, do we care about her? I don't know. It might be easier when you have more people, though.
Oh. It was one course. I'm just slow. And eating has been a time.
Mm.
I'm getting full very quickly.
Mm. Well, you missed my
Anyway.
rundown on all of the anime.
Oh no. What anime did you talk about? You don't have to like discuss it, but like just names.
Okay, I talked about Love of Kill, Awari no wait, I didn't talk about Awari no Seraph. That's just a different thing. Anyway, Love of Kill, Tokyo 24th Ward, Sabakui Bisco, the Genius Prince's Guide to Pulling a Nation Out of Debt, My Dress Up Darling, Demon Slayer, Ranking of Kings, Orient,
Oh god.
Dang.
Did we come in here?
that's 8,
And
but I
talk
feel
to-
like there was another one. Hold the phone.
I think the only one I actually recognize is Demon Slayer.
Gotta get on my level someday.
Someday. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's, it's hard to maintain. It's a hard
Yeah.
life I live. Oh, Attack on
Andrew,
Titan.
I don't know how old the grills from Owl House are, but I can tell you that the girls are 14 years old.
Oh, we were close.
Oh, what were you guessing?
I said 15.
I said 13 or 14.
I mean, some of them would be 15. Like, I think Amira and Edric are either 15 or... No, I think they're 16. Ugh, I can't wait. It's coming back in, like, just under 2 weeks.
Oh, is it?
Uh-huh.
I think Young Justice
March
is also coming
19th.
back then. It's exciting.
I still need to, like, see, like, the new season from that.
Mm-hmm.
Or seasons. I don't know. I haven't kept up with things.
I'm in season 4 now. Season 4 was good. I like season
Yeah.
4 a lot. Like, season 3 was... It was good, but, like, it didn't focus a lot on the characters from, like season 1, which were the ones I really care about. Like, they were good characters and stuff, but it was just, like, too split up, like, too many people, and so it was hard to focus. Season 4 is
Yeah.
back to focusing on specifically the characters from from season 1. Basically, they're taking each of the characters from season 1 and giving each of them their own little mini arc that's like 4 episodes or 5 episodes long.
Ooh.
And so like it's gone through through Miss Martian, what's her face, Zatanna, and Artemis so far.
Nice. Yeah, it sounds kind of like a Teen Titans. Like there's like each of the characters will get kind of like a little bit of like a season like that focuses on them, but it's not really a full season. It's like like episodes here and there.
A mini arc.
Yeah, but it's like split up, so it's not like.
So that's just a normal show at that point. I'm talking about like they just do it in all together. Like it's like it goes arc, like mini arc, and then new arc. So, like.
I miss Teen Titans. The show's so good. But I can't rewatch it. I have way too many other things I need to watch.
I need to watch that someday.
Like Soul Eater, which I've been rewatching.
Yeah. Too many shows that you need to rewatch, apparently.
Yeah. I'm working
I need all
through
these books? I
shows.
feel like I don't.
I'm watching Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure right now.
Oh, I've actually heard good things about that. Like,
yeah.
I had wanted to watch that.
The plot is starting to take shape now.
Mm-hmm.
Like at first it was kind of just like little standalone episodes, but the plot's like starting to take shape. But yeah, it's really cute. And yeah, because I've been much more on a cartoon kick lately.
Yeah.
With like, you know, like She-Ra and the Owl House and Amphibia and all that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Moen, do you ever shut up?
Dang, your party mates are way too talkative.
She just keeps saying how creepy it is. Like, I get it. I'm trying to get you out of here. I am.
Seems like things are going better, though.
You're going
Yeah, like
better.
you're all alive.
Wait, so did you, I wasn't paying attention. Did you reset to get...
I did.
Okay.
Let's have someone else go collect loot, shall you?
Well, once you start recommending more cartoons to the group, you know I always end up watching them. So, you know, I let you sort of figure out which ones are the good ones.
Yeah. You have the anime corner. I have the cartoon corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, you know, I'm in love with the Owl House. So good. I mean, like, so a lot of the ones that I really love are ones that, like, you've already watched.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
like, you know, like Ruby, the Owl House,
Arcane, She-Ra.
Arcane, yeah, She-Ra. Yeah, so I watched Amphibia, and that's, like, really cute. But, like, there is a plot, but, like, it doesn't really come out until, like, the end of season 1. And then even then, it's, like, still standalone episodes. But it's really cute, and, like, I love Sprig. She's just adorable. And, like, there's so many good, like, clips from that show and just, like, reaction gifs. Like, Like the one with the frog saying, "I don't feel safe." Like that's like one of my favorites because it's just so funny. But yeah, like I wouldn't say that's like a fantastic like cartoon that's like one of my favorites, but it is really I like it. It's really good. And yeah, there's one character that I'm just like, oh my god, I relate so much.
Did she just start attacking me? What?
Right you are.
What's happening?
Whatever you need.
No. But yeah, like one of the characters in the show is clearly neurodivergent and is a total nerd and plays Dungeons and Dragons and like literally makes like a reference to the fact that like, oh yeah, I'm playing like the rogue ranger type and all of that. So it's like she's great. I love her. What else? What other cartoons? I mean, you could watch Centaur World.
I'm good. I'm really good. Thank you.
It was a very weird show. Not gonna lie though, the soundtrack was like pretty good. Like some of the songs are like actually like really good. But it's so random and it's like
Yeah, no. Does not sound like my kind of show. Let's just put it that way.
no, it's not. I'm not convincing you or anything, but it's like it's a show that I enjoyed watching. I don't need to rewatch it though.
Mm-hmm.
But the villain is so good. Like such a good villain. So like that is like my favorite thing of the show is the villain. It was just so creepy and like so good.
See, I keep getting... I know because you sent pictures of it. I know what you're talking about. But, like, I keep in my
Of the
head getting it...
Damn it,
No,
she
no,
died
of
again.
Centaur World. But,
Oh.
like, I keep getting images in my head of this anime that's called, I think, My Centaur Life or something like that. Which
Oh
is...
my god.
I don't think it's a good anime. I never watched it, mind you, but I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Now I'm gonna look it up. Centaur. Yeah, hold on.
Yes.
It's it translates to Centaur's Worries, I guess. I thought it was...
Centaur's World. Instead of Centaur World.
Oh, A Centaur's Life. That's its other name. So okay, I did remember it. But it like directly translates, I guess, to Centaur's Worries. But the English name for it is A Centaur's Life.
Interesting.
But it's just about... Here's the synopsis. Ready? Himeno is a sweet, shy little centaur girl. The word little here is doing a lot of heavy lifting, and I'll explain why in a moment. But in her world,
Okay.
everyone seems to be a supernatural creature. Everyone seems to be. Okay. And all her classmates have some kind of horns, wings, tails, halos, or other visible supernatural body part. Despite their supernatural elements, Himeno and her best friend Nozomi and Kyoko have a fun and mostly normal daily school life. So, Himeno is taller than everybody in this picture. Like, she's ginormous, because she's a horse, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, so I don't know what a little centaur girl is supposed to mean, but I don't think it's
Little
accurate.
compared to other centaurs.
Maybe.
Like a little horse, like a pony.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But yeah, they're still big. Yeah, it sounds interesting.
It has a 6.45 rating, so I don't think it's good, but...
Yeah. Nah, but
A centaur...
go to Google Images and just search Centaur World Nowhere King. And you'll see, like, the images of this villain and, like, peak character design, peak villain.
Okay.
My favorite villain designs are goopy antlered monsters.
Funny you say goopy.
No! No!
Hold on.
I'd
See
take
if I
that
can remember it.
take that
No,
back.
the book is about 5 feet to my right, so I could go and pick it up
Yeah,
and find
Rebecca
mine.
has all those books on display in a basket on her table, just so you all know.
Oh my god. I regret.
Nowhere King. Oh, it is Goopy. That is
Yeah.
a Goopy being.
God, I
Interesting.
love that villain character design.
Interesting. So goof. BRB.
Oh my god, she's getting the book, isn't she?
I'm getting all 3 of the books, actually, because they're all in the basket on my
no.
table.
Quit the game.
Many regrets.
Here it is.
I should have said
Okay.
Woozy and not Goofy.
You should have, but you didn't, and here we are. Let's see.
Yeah.
I do have. It is going to take me a moment to find it, you know. So.
Yeah, I was wondering if you have it bookmarked.
You would think
Is
I
that
would.
a bear?
Yep.
What?
Oh, is that the druid?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I
Oh,
was like, whoa,
I found it. That was really easy. I'm actually
no.
I'm gonna bookmark it. So yeah, we're just gonna put a little post-it note right in there so that I can
I
get
have
back
many
to here
regrets.
easily in the future. So you know, right here, perfection. Best line in the book. You ready for this? Now, actually, you know what? Maybe I'll just start from you know the whole scene, and I'll do a dramatic reading of this scene.
Oh,
boy.
God.
Okay, I won't.
Oh,
But
I'm
just
so
to-
sorry, Kate.
To remind you all what had just happened is that this girl who's obsessed with vampires and thinks
She
this guy is a
died again.
vampire and
We all
probably is a
died.
vampire, has broken into this man's. Oh, you died. Has broken into this man's home, and then they kind of had a date. It's a whole thing. Anyway, and so then a mosquito bites her, and he kisses her at some point. But anyway, here's the line.
Where did I find all those other
I would, as much as I wanted a real kiss, a vampire kiss, he was changing me. I was transforming into a swooning, noodle-legged, goopy, googly-eyed, drippy marshmallow girl.
This is a dark place.
It's gross.
It's so good.
How do you, like...
A swooning,
How do
noodle-legged,
you
goopy,
write that
googly-eyed,
and
drippy
it's-
marshmallow girl.
How do you write that and think that
Yes, Andrew, Stephanie
that
Meyer
statement
wishes.
is okay to say?
There's just so much in just so much. Where is the... Because I read this entire scene to y'all out loud, I'm pretty sure.
You sure did.
I did. I mean, you read from the other books, so, you know, it was an event for us all. Yeah, this person took creative writing in high school and then stopped.
There we go.
Yeah, that sentence sure is creative.
Do you need something?
Yes. I need you to go to the bear.
Yeah, anyway, I don't think I have any other, like, cartoons to talk about. I mean, the Tangled Ever After one is, like, pretty cute. It's funny, I'm watching it, and in my head, I'm, like, assigning D&D classes to, like, all the characters. Because, like, Flynn Rider, Eugene Fitzherbert is obviously a rogue. Then you have Cassandra from the show, who's not in the movie, but from the show.
Yeah, she's the one with the black hair.
Yeah, she is definitely a ranger. Rapunzel is definitely a bard because she's like doing all the singing. Maximus the horse would be a paladin. I haven't figured out Pascal yet, though. I feel like he would just be like a random animal companion. But
I
like
mean,
the fact
yeah.
that I have like a D&D class for the fucking horse.
Uh-huh.
But though it would make he would
Yeah.
make a great paladin though.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
But
Thanks for
yeah,
the follow.
other than that- Oh hey, thanks. Yeah, other
Oh
than
my
that, I'm
god.
not really, like,
Why is
no.
everybody dying?
Why? Who's in a sphere?
I don't know. Girl, get over there. You go over there too. Who's still bad? Ugh.
Okay, are you ready? I'm gonna read this. Ready for the dramatic reading of their first date?
Oh no.
Okay, I skipped most of it. I'm only gonna give you a couple pages that are the best part. So here we go. Let's see. Hold on. So this, we lay down on the cool grass and gazed up at the stars, holding hands. We relaxed in silence, our hands warming together. I could feel the prickly legs of the spider ring that he gave me. Yes, like one of those plastic spider rings. Yep. I wanted to kiss, but he just stared up at the stars. Who are your friends? I asked, turning to him. I keep to myself. I bet you met tons of cool girls before you moved here. Cool is one thing. The kind of girls who accept you for who you really are is another. I'd like something lasting. Lasting? For eternity? But I couldn't ask that. This is the point where she doesn't know whether he's a vampire. She just thinks he's a vampire, so she's trying to get clues, okay? So lasting? For eternity? But I couldn't ask that. I want a relationship I can finally sink my teeth into. Really? Really?
Wow.
Well, I'm your girl, I thought, but he didn't turn toward me. Instead, Alexander gazed at the sky. So, you don't have any friends here? I asked, trying to pump him for more info. Just one. Jameson? The butler? I think it's the butler. Someone who wears black lipstick. Which is her.
I know, it's ebony, dark,
yes.
Raven's
Oh yeah, I'll read that line later too. We both stared up at the moon in silence. I beamed from his compliment. Who do you hang out with? He finally asked. Becky is the only one who accepts me, and it's because I'm the only one who doesn't beat her up. We both laughed. Everyone else thinks I'm weird. Like, just running over that. I'm the only one who doesn't beat her up. That's why I have this one friend. Like, casual, casual bullying reference. It's fine. Anyway, everyone else thinks I'm weird. I don't. Really? No one had ever said that to me in my whole life. No one. Well, she is weird, but anyway. You seem a lot like me, he said. You don't gawk at me like I'm a freak. I'll kick anyone who does. I think you already did. Or at least smacked him with a racket. Oh, right, that was earlier in the book. She, hit this guy who was kind of her frenemy with a tennis racket. Anyway.
I feel like this girl is, the opposite of Bella Swan.
Yeah.
She's so...
She's Ebony, Darkness, Dementia, Ravenway. The third. Yes. Or the second, I mean. Clearly. We laughed in the moonlight, and I placed my free arm on his chest and hugged him as my, gothic mate softly stroked my arm.
My gothic mate.
Yep. And then...
Wow.
Could those be ravens, I asked, pointing to a flurry of dark wings circling high above the mansion.
Dementia Way.
Those aren't birds, they're bats. Bats! I've never seen bats around here until you moved in. Yeah, we found some hanging in the attic. Jameson set them free. I hope they don't frighten you. They're wonderful creatures. It takes one to know one, right? I hinted. But don't worry, they never swoop down and get tangled in jet black hair like yours. Only in mall hair. They like hairspray? They hate it. They know mall hair looks terrible.
Oh my god. I actually knew somebody, I was going on a walk with somebody when I was studying in Australia, and a bat flew down into her hair, and it was so fucking funny.
She must have had mall hair, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
I laughed, and he began softly stroking my hair. His touch calmed me. I thought I was going to melt into the earth. He was certainly taking much more time than Trevor had. Trevor is the guy that she hit with a racket earlier. I began stroking his hair, which was silky from his gel. Do bats like
Gross.
gel? I asked. They love the way it looks with a silk Armani, he teased back. What?
What?
I don't know. I wriggled over him and pinned his arms down. He looked up at me with surprise and smiled. I waited for him to kiss me, but he didn't move. You do have his arms pinned down, so, like, you're the one in the position of power, but whatever.
Oh,
Okay.
you know what? It's the gravity.
It's the gravity, yes, exactly.
The gravity. Gravity affects men differently.
Yes,
after
there you
all.
go. Of course, he didn't move. I was pinning him down. What was I thinking?
There you-
Okay, so she did figure it out. I commented too soon. That's my bad. I'm sorry. She's smarter than I gave her credit for. Anyway.
Is she?
No. Tell me your favorite thing about... no, this is him. Tell me your favorite thing about bats, Batgirl, he asked as I anxiously stared down at him. They can fly. You want to fly? I nodded. He wrestled me over and pinned my arms down. Again, I waited for him to kiss me, but he didn't. He just stared into my eyes. So what's your favorite thing about bats, Bat Boy? I asked. I'd have to say, he began thinking, their
She missed out on the
vampire teeth.
opportunity to call him Batman.
Yeah, true. Their vampire teeth. I gasped, but it wasn't because of Alexander's comment. A mosquito had bitten my neck. Don't be afraid, he said, squeezing my hand. I won't bite. Yet. He laughed at his joke. I'm not afraid. A mosquito bit me, I explained, scratching like mad. He examined the mark like a doctor. It's starting to swell. We'd better get you ice. It'll be okay. I get these all the time. I don't want you to tell your parents you came over to my house and got bitten. I wanted to tell the whole world I was bitten, but that mosquito had ruined everything. Yeah. He took me into the kitchen and put ice on my tiny wound. I listened to the grandfather clock chime away. 9, chime. 10, chime. No, 11, chime. Frig, 12, it couldn't be. I've got to go, I exclaimed. So soon, he said, disappointed. Any second my dad will be calling from Vegas at 12 o'clock?
I mean, he is in Vegas.
But it's midnight. She should be asleep. Anyway.
Wait, but where does this book take place?
I don't know. Do you think I know these details? Either way, it's in America. It's not that far off. And if...
Well, no, but it could be like 12... If she's on the East Coast, it could be like 12 a.m. there, but like...
But why wouldn't he just then add an hour that makes sense for both of them? That's just rude. He's a rude dad. Anyway.
Rude dad. Hashtag rude dad.
Hashtag rude dad. If only I could stay and live with Alexander in his attic room and have capital creepy man serve me Count Chocula cereal every morning.
What?
I think that's also a reference to My Immortal because eating Count Chocula in blood is a thing from My Immortal. But anyway.
Oh my god.
Thanks for the flowers and the dinner and the stars, I said hurriedly by Becky's truck, scrambling in my purse for the keys. Thank you for coming.
Wait, when did this book come out again?
It's... it is really raining outside. It's very loud. 2009. Wait, no, sorry, that's wrong. 2003. This is just one. This one is copyright 2009, but this one is 2003. I think that's actually before My Immortal. Wow. My Immortal stole from this.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me see. Thank you for coming. He looked dreamy and gorgeous and somehow lonely. I wanted my gothic vampire mate to kiss me now. I wanted his mouth on my neck and his soul within mine. Raven, he said cautiously, because her name is Raven, by the way, because of course. Yes? Would you like me to? Yes, yes. Would you like me to invite you again, or would you rather sneak back in? Because she did break into his house. That's how they got a date. Because, romantic.
That's, a totally normal thing to do.
I'd love to be invited, I answered, waiting. If he kissed me now, we'd be bonded for all eternity. Wonderful then, I'll call you. He kissed me softly on the cheek. The cheek? Still, it was softer and more romantic than the time Jack Patterson had kissed me outside the mansion, and much more romantic than Trevor pushing me against a tree. This girl has too many boys. And as much as I wanted a real kiss, a vampire kiss, he was changing me. Here it is. I was transforming into a swooning, noodle-legged, goopy, googly-eyed, drippy marshmallow girl. Oh, the power. So if the recording cuts out, that's because my power just flashed. And so, luckily it stayed on. Thank you, Surge Protector. But if our stream just cuts out, it's because I've cursed us with this book. And also because...
Yeah, I blame you.
Definitely the reason.
Yeah. I could still feel his lovely, full lips against my face as I drove home. My body tingled all over with excitement, longing, passion, feelings I had never felt about a guy before, and as I scratched the bite that wasn't his, I could only hope I wouldn't turn into a blood-sucking mosquito.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
That book, man. That definitely had to inspire my Immortal at least a little bit.
Maybe they were just friends. My Immortal girl knew Ellen Schreiber.
I have the My Immortal fic open on my Safari on my phone because one day I intend to actually read all.
You should
of it.
just listen to one of the dramatic readings of it. I think that'll just go better.
Only if it's by Gilbert Gottfried.
I don't think you're gonna find that, but there is. I haven't listened to it. Good lord, I haven't listened to the dramatic reading of it, but I've heard there is like one that is just like known to be like the best version of it to read. So
I could totally listen to that while I'm in the car.
Yeah,
but I have too many podcasts.
Yeah, once you finish NADPOD, just listen to My Immortal. You know.
I'm like an episode and a half away from finishing Trinity Vale.
Oh, good. I mean, that one's shorter, so that makes sense. That it didn't take you so long.
I'm so mad though, because an idea that I came up with in my D&D campaign. I was listening to NADPOD, and they used very similarly the idea that I was planning on. I was like, no!
I mean, it happens. There's nothing new under the sun. You just have to do it your own way.
Yeah.
How do I disarm it?
I have my own way, but it has quite a few similarities, and I'm like, dang. So if there's something that happens in my campaign, and you're like, I feel like I've seen this before,
well,
know that I came up with it first before I listened to the episode.
Gotcha. Noted.
Nope. Did resting not do anything?
So are your party members all still alive, but like 2 of them are just on death's door?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I don't... They rested. They just rested and nothing happened.
Oh, that's stupid. Yeah, how does resting work in 2E?
Like, why? Means you're not healed for anything. They're healing slightly.
What do you want?
Yeah, how many hit dice do they have?
I want you to heal is what I want.
Anyway, I will not grace your ears with any more of my dramatic reading unless anyone requests it, but this book...
Good, nobody requested it.
...is a time. And so are these other 2 books. These are also a time. And not a good one. Cracks, give me a page number. The book is... Hold on.
Cracks,
No,
shut
Cracks.
up.
Why?
Well, there's actually 3 books. So pick 1, 2, or 3, and then, like, oh wait, no, sorry. 562. There's 562 pages. Pick a page.
Please don't.
Why not? How do you not love this? Or love hate it, at least. I love hate it.
I think it's because you consume so much media you dislike in some way.
This is true.
If I don't like something, I don't continue to consume it.
Well, you know, maybe it makes
Like
me...
you and watching terrible ads.
Yeah.
Rebecca last night watched every single annoying ad she got on her Instagram in full.
I did.
Why?
Multiple times.
Why?
I don't get it.
Because I wanted to know what they were selling. I wanted to know if it was worth buying that I would never actually buy.
You're a masochist.
They intrigue me. Ads intrigue me. Okay? Like, if it's an ad on YouTube, it doesn't intrigue me because those aren't interesting. They're very obvious what they're trying to do. But on, like, Tumblr and Instagram, they're not always obvious what they're trying to do. They're always a little bit off, especially Tumblr, obviously. And it's just...
Tumblr.
Yeah, Tumblr.
I don't know.
And it's fascinating to me, like, what the ad... Like, a human being made this. Why? How does that not fascinate you?
I'm still getting ads for prostate cancer.
I
and
have
I'm
still
like,
never...
Please stop.
I've still never gotten the prostate cancer ad, but I haven't gotten an ad for a romance novel since mid-February.
I also am getting ads for Manscaped.
Oh, I get that. That's all I get now is Manscaped.
But yeah, I mean, like that's like one of the sponsors of NADPOD. So, but yeah, I'm like, I don't have a prostate. Please stop showing me these ads. They're not relevant to me.
Oh, my power's flashing again. But the storm has died down. Will we make it until 9:30? See, here's the thing. Is that, like, Tumblr is so, like, dead in the water, monetarily, that, like, I want to engage with the ads to get them some revenue, you know? Instagram's not dead in the water, so I don't have that same theory. It's just that I've gotten used to engaging with... Like, I'll just randomly click on ads sometimes just to give them revenue.
Rebecca, the ad that I sent you about the One Piece phone case.
Oh, yeah.
That keeps popping up for
I
me
want
now
it.
on my TikTok.
I want that. I mean, I already bought a new phone case for my new phone, but, like, maybe someday.
I need a new phone.
Except that I'm pretty sure my students would judge me if I had a one-piece phone case. I don't know that I want that.
Screw them.
True, but also, I need them to respect me as an authority figure. And if they think I'm a weeb, I don't know that they'll respect me as an authority figure. That's the main problem.
But I mean, like, I feel like it's one of those things where, like, if you know it, it's because you're also a weeb. I feel like non-weebs don't recognize it.
If it was, like... You might not know where it's from, but you'll see a little cartoon pirate ship that's a little bit weird because it's One Piece, so it has a sunny lion face on it, and you'll think, that's odd. But then again, true, maybe it's not that recognizable to to someone else. Maybe it really is.
You have like the one student who's like a One Piece fan, right?
I have... I mean, I have one student this semester who has a One Piece as their like profile picture on Canvas. I don't actually know which student that is though, because I've never met them in person. So
do it for them.
Do it for them. Yes.
Do it for them.
I'll let them secretly know I'm on their side, unless they fail, in which case, well, here we are.
Live a good long time.
Yep.
Have they all survived?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you're doing great. You've really upped your game this second time around.
Tell me.
So
Except
this is still the
now I'm
dungeon that you were
stuck.
like trapped in, right?
Yep.
Oh man,
And now I've hit a wall.
Oh no.
literally. Is it
Literally.
walkthrough time?
Does a walkthrough even exist? I don't even know what I've done thus far.
Somebody,
Too
I
bad
can't remember who
Crackety
somebody
left.
mentioned. Yeah, somebody mentioned walkthrough.
I'm gonna guess one exists. This is an old game. There's always a walkthrough.
Yeah.
Alright, maybe you can unlock this door.
What do you want? Count on me?
Uh,
Interesting sounds coming from the game.
I don't know.
Sharpened and raring to go.
Um. Oh, do all these meet here?
Looks like it.
Okay. No alignment. Provision. Not usable by anyone. Oh wait, she's the mage.
Yeah, mages can use it.
So I've been playing some Stardew Valley recently,
Oh.
and I made it to winter, and I decided I'm gonna be spending the entire winter upgrading my farm.
Okay.
So I basically am like tearing down like all my pastures and stuff, and like all like the fenced in areas and the pathways, and I'm like starting from scratch.
Oh wow.
So I made like new fenced in areas for my animals, and I made new crop pasture for growing the crops with the iridium sprinklers, so that I can start growing the mega crops, like like the melon and the
Yeah.
pumpkin, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I built a new shed, and I'm gonna like put a whole bunch of my machines in there, like the crystallariums and the furnaces and all that. So I'm like really like going through and just like updating it all and like moving things around.
Nice.
And
nice.
I'm currently about halfway through winter. So I still need to upgrade this new shed, but I need to get some more stones.
Stones.
I also am going to build two additional fish ponds.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it for the building, and then I have to move things around. Oh, and I like completely revamped like inside my greenhouse, with like the fruits, like the foods that I'm growing and the sprinklers and all that. So I have like a good setup there now. And I'm like really going ham on updating my farm.
Nice.
So it's a fun time.
Oh.
Yeah, and you got a lot more stones.
Have you
Huh?
unlocked like all of the areas and stuff? Like the movie theater, the island.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Kate for a second.
No. I know Kate hasn't.
Yeah.
In this.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the movie theater. I have access to Ginger Island, which I still have a lot of stuff to do there, but like I really want to update my like whole farm area now, before I start like revamping that area there.
Yeah.
Because I revamped like the house area, so I can actually like sleep over
Mm-hmm,
at the island, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
What else? I think that's it. Yeah. What else is there that needs to be unlocked?
Have you unlocked the casino?
Yes, and I want that rare crow, but oh my god. It's
So,
so hard.
haha, do you want to know the trick to do it? Because I have it.
Yes.
I got it. So,
Yes.
you should always pay attention. Just look on the TV in the morning when it tells you your luck, and go to the casino on a day that your luck is highest, and then play blackjack, or I mean play the slots, not blackjack. And if you do that, you're more likely to win on a day when your luck is high. And so I just did that. I just played the slots and I made enough coin all in one day.
Nice. Okay. That's good to know. Yeah, I'll definitely do that then. Because, like, I've tried with the blackjack and the slots, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm getting
Oh
nowhere.
yeah, I was able to. I bought out everything they sold it after in that one day, and I'm just like, okay, I'm done with this, and I haven't been back. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I've also been, so every Wednesday and Sunday, they air the Queen of Sauce segments on the TV.
To get the recipes.
And that's
yeah.
that's where all the rest of the recipes are. So I've been like doing that as well because I'm missing so many recipes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, oh, I'm so excited for what my farm's gonna look like when I have it all updated. And then I also revamped the inside of the slime hutch because so like I have a fenced. Well, first of all, I put sprinklers by the water
Yeah, good.
holes because I didn't realize that you could do that.
Yeah.
And
Did you get that online? Because that's how I figured it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, what did you do?
You could put a sprinkler in your slime hutch so you don't have to fill the water.
Oh.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Sprinklers don't work on like the single like potted plant things, and I'm like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so I did that, and then I like made like a fenced-in area, so now all the slimes are kept on the other side of the fence, so I can go in and not be like bombarded. Which, like, I mean, it doesn't matter because I have like the slime ring anyway that keeps them from damaging
Also,
me.
because they do like so little damage, it's not like a big deal anyway.
Yeah. But still, it's annoying to have them like right in your face. And I put flooring where the slimes hang out.
Yeah.
Because
You read the Wikipedia page or the wiki page, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, I know exactly what you did then because I read that and I was just like, I don't feel like putting down flooring. I see how that's useful, but I was just like, I'll just run in and injure myself and run out and heal. It's fine. But yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think I it's not like I was specifically looking for things to make it easier. I can't remember what I was looking at.
Same. I think I just looked up. I was looking at I think slime colors or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I saw the things about the slime hutch. Or maybe I was just looking up what the slime hutch is, and I saw that. I don't remember, but...
Yeah. Same thing.
Or when your slimes turn black, I was like, is there any way to fix that? And there is not. I forget.
Apparently you can prevent them from being turned black.
Yeah.
But also I want black slimes, because I think that's the only way to get black slimes, right?
I mean, they don't give you... Well, yeah, it's the only way, but it doesn't accomplish anything to have them.
No, but I like all the colors.
Oh, fair enough.
I want to get all the color slimes.
Okay. I just don't want the ones that I have to turn black. Because I have, like, not that I've played this in a year, but... I forget what... I might have gotten a tiger slime. I don't remember, but...
Yeah, I haven't gotten one of those yet, but I have, like, all the other colors.
I might not have got... I might just be making that up. I don't remember.
What else?
I need to find a new game to, like, play. Because I'm just never going to go back to there. I should have gotten my freaking ostrich, and I just didn't, and then I gave up. Like, and this is me. But, I mean, I guess I'll have Kirby soon, so I guess that'll be the game that I play. And that actually has an end to it. So, ish.
Yeah. I don't know what games I'll be playing. Stardew probably, because it's like, I can just pick it up at any time and do, like,
Yeah, play a day
pick
or
up
whatever.
random stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did start playing The Sims again. And by start playing, I already told Kate this, but I booted up The Sims yesterday, and was playing a household, and then I was multitasking on my computer. And anytime you like click, so I have two screens, so like I can multitask, so I can like go to my other screen, but it will minimize the game. So like I could play a video, but I can't click on the other screen without it minimizing the game. And I got and like growing up, I would do this all the time. I would minimize the game so I could search something real quick. Anyway, so I'm but sometimes it crashes, and that's what happened this time. Is I had gotten through like almost an entire day in this household, and then it crashed. And I play day to day. Like I play one day, I play every single household in my town in an order, and I play them for exactly one day. That way, everybody ages at the same rate. And so,
Wow.
yeah, because you have to understand I'm an insane person, and maybe I'll explain in the next 6 minutes. I can go over how insane I am about The Sims 2, because I have talked in the past about how insane I am about The Sims 2, but not really given detail on that, just sort of said that I have this crazy past with playing The Sims 2, but like, I don't think you really know what I mean when I say that. And cracks, yes, windowed full screen, here's the thing, is that I have a 4K monitor, and The Sims was not built for 4K, and so when I do windowed full screen, it's like real tiny. So I may have figured out how to fix that, but I'm not sure. Either that or The Sims 2 can't be played in windowed mode. That might be the problem, because some games that's a problem for. It's either that I couldn't figure out how to get The Sims 2 to go windowed mode, like it just wouldn't work, or it was really tiny. I don't remember, but I know I've tried this before, and it doesn't work. So, here we are. But anyway, so, the way I play The Sims 2, are you ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this. You don't sound ready. You haven't said anything, so.
You don't sound ready.
So, when I was in about the 8th grade or 9th grade is when I really got obsessed with The Sims, right? It was around the time I was reading Sims, like, fics, basically. Not, like, fanfics about The Sims, but, like, people would write stories where they would take screenshots of their Sims and then, like, write out, like, actual plot around, like, what their Sims did and give them, like, make them the characters and stuff. And so they would write stories about their Sims. And it would give it, like, a visual element, so it was kind of like a comic book, kind of, but not, obviously, but, you know, picture story. Anyway, so I read a lot of these back when in, like, high school. And so I wanted to do that. But also, the way that one of the people I read would play, and a lot of the people who did this would play, would be that they would play it in a more realistic fashion. And you have to understand that I'm crazy, right? And so I wanted to play The Sims in a more realistic fashion as well. In that, like, I wanted them to age at a more realistic speed, so this is when I started modding my game. And so I have mods that, like, change their age length, so it makes more sense. So, like, every year is 3 days, and, like, so you're a toddler for 3 years, so you're a toddler for 9 whole days, which is obnoxious. Normally it's only 3 days, but it's like, nope, 9 days. And so then you're like, so, like, the whole lifespan ends up being a couple hundred days. No, more than that, I think. Yeah, no, it's a few hundred days. Yeah, I know how time works. 3 times, if your lifespan is like 70 years or something, it's 210 days. So, yeah, anyway, so I, like, I made their lifespans make more sense, and that was, like, one of my first mods was lifespan modding, and then there's all these mods that allow you to, like, control other Sims on your lot that aren't, like, your main Sims in your household, so I could, like, manipulate them and do stuff with them. And then, like, mods where you can, like, add I don't know. I modded everything to make the game more realistic. Like, people go into debt now, and it's easier to die, and, like, yeah. Like, and then there's, like, one of the most popular mods for, like, the modding community of Sims 2 was, like, the one that adds extra autonomy stuff. So, like, they can autonomously, like, hook up with other Sims and stuff, like autonomous romance and stuff. So, because what my favorite thing about The Sims 2 that other Sims games have not done is, no, I do not kill them. Anyway, other Sims games do not have a chemistry system. Sims 2 has a chemistry system, and that is why The Sims 2 is superior to all other Sims games, is because The Sims 2 actually calculates through some crazy mathematical formula a numerical chemistry between different Sims. Like, these Sims are compatible because of their personality points and their interests and their jobs and their turn-ons and all of these things. It calculates, like, a numerical compatibility score. And so, yeah, that's a thing. That other Sims games just leave it up to you to be like, yeah, I want them to be together, and so they are, and there's no compatibility that matters at all except for you, the player, wanting it. And that's why I could never get into other Sims games nearly as much, because it was all up to me to make the decisions, and I wanted some level of, like, the game makes this the way it is, and I'm just going to push it a little bit. Like, my sim tells me what they want, and I'm going to push them towards it. And that was fun for me. So I'd go by, like, what my sims wanted and what made sense. And so, like, I would push them towards, the people they were most compatible with. And even if that meant scandals occurred and stuff like that. And so, to get even worse, to make it even worse, the simmer that's what we are called, simmers. The simmer that I read a lot of, she used this random generator that, like, generated random events, right? That would basically, like, say, like, it give a list of sim names and then, like, an event that you can make occur to them. And so you could, like for every year, I would just have, like, several random events would occur. So, like, so that it was things that I wouldn't necessarily make happen. So, because, like, I didn't want to kill my sims. I didn't want my bad things to happen. And so I would make the random events be these crazy things that I wouldn't necessarily choose to do and my sims wouldn't want to happen. So it was more randomness. And so it's like, there would be, here's a random event, you decide to have an affair. Because I wouldn't necessarily push my sim to have an affair, because I don't want that. But, like, or this sim dies, or this sim gets pregnant with whoever the next person that they sleep with is, or whatever. Like, all of these random events that I wouldn't necessarily make happen on my own. And so, like, so my sim world is just very that. And so, all in all, to summarize, so I have a Excel spreadsheet of all of the households in my Sims world, and or in my Sims town, and I play them in order. And so this household that I was playing today, I am pretty sure I've played through now 3 times this single day 3 times because my game has crashed every time I try and play her. And
oh my god.
So, and she is an evil witch who lives alone and is in an apartment complex where everybody's hooking up with everybody because of the autonomous romance thing. Just everyone in this apartment complex are constantly hooking up and then getting jealous, and it's a mess, and it's very entertaining to me. And she is currently pregnant because she was abducted by aliens. So she's about to. So, like, she's gonna give birth at the end of this day, and I just can't get there. So she's been alien pregnant for several years at this point. So that's where we're at.
Damn, there's like a whole Sims culture.
Yes, there is. So when I say I was obsessed with The Sims, do you now understand what I mean? Also, the fact that my mods library, like the folder on my computer that it has mods, has multiple thousands of mods in it, and is many, many gigabytes of space. So, yeah. There's a reason it takes, like, half an hour for my game to boot up. Which is why I don't play it all the time. So, here we are. But,
Yeah.
yeah. I am truly a crazy person. But I love The Sims. The Sims 2 is a wonderful game, and it is my favorite and will be my favorite forever and ever and ever. Nothing will ever beat it. No other Sims game can compare.
I think that's the same with me and Pokemon Emerald.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I'm also just a Pokemon fiend too.
I mean, hey, my favorite... If I had played Emerald, that probably would be my favorite, because my favorite is Sapphire, so...
Uh-huh. Well, like, that generation of games is my favorite, but I really like Emerald because you can catch all 3 of the main legendaries, which is, like, awesome.
Yeah, it's funny, because I literally didn't know Emerald existed for some reason. Like, I just missed that somehow, until years later. I was just like, how did I miss that? Or else I probably would have bought it. But, oh well. So... Again, Emerald probably would be my favorite had I played it.
Yeah.
But it's funny, I was reading, there was like a what your favorite generation of Pokemon says about you post on Tumblr. And maybe you've seen this, I don't know. But like, and
Probably.
it was like, Ruby and Sapphire, you're probably like 27 years old. I was like, well, you got it.
Wow.
Like, that's all it said. It was like, if your favorite generation of Pokemon is red or blue, you're probably like 31. It was like, it starts out like you think it's going to be like insulting you, and then it's just like, nope, we're going to guess your age. And I was like, you are correct. I am 27.
Okay, I have not seen that one. Can you find it?
Probably.
That's like impressive, like exact age. That's wow. Yeah. I thought it was going to be some joke about like liking trumpets or like
yeah, exactly.
wow,
That's what I assumed.
Like, all the water.
Let's see if I can find this. Yes, I found it.
Yes.
I'm just gonna post it in Skype.
Cool.
There you go. Well, are you saving to end?
Yes, I forfeit.
I see. Well, got pretty far. I think. I really don't know. You got through this whole dungeon, you just can't get out of it, right?
Yeah, I don't know how to get out.
Well,
I'm locked in.
Well,
damn. I'm like, this is so accurate. It's so accurate.
well, we'll just have to look it up next time, I guess.
True. I will do some homework before we play this game again.
Okay.
Oof. Yeah, that seemed like a lot.
Yeah. Real-time strategy games stress me out. And turn-based, I guess it's real-time strategy, not turn-based. I don't know. But, welcome back, Crackety.
We're about to end.
Crackety. Your names are too similar. You should change that. I'm just going to refer to you as...
Crackety a nickname by saying Cracks, and then
you realize.
It's like, oh, wait.
Yeah. We'll just call you, what was it? Gilligan Schrodinger or something?
Gilbert.
Gilbert Schrodinger. There you go.
Gilbert Gottfried?
Nope, it's Gilbert Schrodinger. We've already decided. Yep, there you go.
Okay. Gotcha.
This is a reference to the Nancy Drew game that you haven't witnessed yet, but when Kait Facebook stalked him. And didn't add you. How cold is that?
You can't add someone mid-stalk. That's just not
True.
decorum.
That's improper.
Improper Facebook stalking decorum.
You need to follow proper stalking etiquette.
I hate Facebook. I don't
Yeah.
I really just want to delete it off my phone.
Well.
Yeah, I.
But it's the only way that I know it's someone's birthday is the problem.
Well.
Yeah, I barely spent it last time.
It's like, how do you remember all your acquaintances' birthdays?
I don't. I mean, you know. Yeah, a birthday book. I just put all of the people I care about, I put with their contact in my phone, their birthday, and so it shows up on my calendar, and that's how I see it. And so if you're not important enough for me to have added your birthday to my contact information, then I don't care about your birthday. I mean, have a good birthday, everybody whose birthday I don't know, but I just mean I don't think you really need to hear it from me, is what I'm getting
I
at.
am cozy in my bed. Anyway.
Krax, I don't know your birthday, so that's not even on me. You've never told me your birthday. You're also not a contact in my phone, so it wouldn't work. So that's, again, on you, not me. Have a happy birthday whenever it is.
I mean, if you say happy
Krax is
birthday
a
every
Capricorn
single
like
day,
me.
you have to get it right at least once.
A Murgo,
So our
that makes
birthdays
sense.
are close.
Yours is next
Oh.
I don't believe you. Your birthday is not next Tuesday. In the same way that your name is not Gilbert Schrodinger. No, I'm never gonna believe anything you say at this point, Crackety. I'm not the Facebook stalker. That's Kate's job.
Kate, are you getting ready to stalk?
I'll just restock. I had found it before.
Also, Crackety, you missed a dramatic reading of my favorite book.
I can't find your birthday. It's not telling me your birthday on your about info. But if I just search, I could
Maybe you
scroll
have to
back.
be friends with them to find out.
Life events.
It says it's March 15th, 1986. You were born on the Ides of March, a likely story.
It's brutal.
The Ides of March.
And no, Crackety, this is not actually my favorite book, for the record. I was being sarcastic. It is a terrible book, but I enjoy dramatically reading from it because it's really bad.
His birthday is actually the 15th.
Wow, okay, a true statement. All right, Gilbert.
Or he's just tricking everyone in his family and thanks everyone for the birthday wishes on March 15th every year.
It's playing the long con.
That's what I was going to say, the long con.
All right, well, happy almost birthday. Good night, everybody. Read Vampire Kisses.
Happy early birthday.
That's your homework. Everybody's homework is to read Vampire Kisses.
Go read a book
Please.
you actually like, please. Since Rebecca won't.
I read books I like all the time. I also just happen to read books I don't like too. You know, it's about the variety.
Good night.
That's how that works.
Good night.
Good night, y'all.